Ms. Hassan.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. The witness for today is Lieutenant General Senona.
May I please be given, please place the appearances on record. I think it must be taken as done already in respect of Ms. Hassan. Who else is appearing?
May I, on my side, acknowledge Mr. Sikakane, who is my learned friend. Thanks.
Yes. Your junior for today who's appearing for the first time. Thank you and welcome. Don't you, for purposes of the mic, or even there, actually, there's a mic there, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Balasa Mafisa, and I'm making...
what?
Balasa Mafisa.
Mafisa.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I make an appearance with Rudolph Baloyi, my instructing attorney, and Dumi Mushwana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Ms. Mafisa. Yes, Ms. Hassan.
Thank you, Chair. So our witness for today is Lieutenant General Senona. He is in attendance, but I believe that his counsel wishes to address the Commission before we begin. May I ask that she be granted permission?
I'd like to, please.
Yes.
Yes, Ms. Mafisa.
Thank you, Commissioners. Commissioners, firstly, we'd like to state that the court order that was handed down, not the court order, but the Commission's order that was handed down on the 26th of November last year, stated that we are to appear on the 27th of January. It seems as if the Commission might require more time with Major General Senona. However, we were only informed today that more time would be required with Major General Senona. On Sunday, in passing, it was mentioned by the Commissioner's attorneys that Major General Senona would need to be here on the 27th and on the 28th. However, on the 26th, I must mention that I'm led in this matter. So on the 26th of November, the last appearance, my senior and one of the evidence leaders decided that it would be best if we hold today's hearing on the 27th of January. But that was the only date that was agreed upon. We did not agree upon the 28th of January. Unfortunately, Major General Senona has only made arrangements with his employer to be here for the 27th of January. If he is to continue, or rather if his testimony is to continue for the 28th of January, he would require special leave. And I'm not sure if he'd be able to do so on such short notice. He also needs to travel back after giving his testimony. So there are many things at play here, Commissioners, and I do not see how Major General Senona will be able to continue with his testimony on the 28th.
Not if, yes, Ms. Hassan.
Sorry, Chair, may I respond to the request? Just to say two things. The ruling of this Commission in November was for the Major General to appear on the 27th of January. Section 6.1 of the Commissions Act makes it a requirement that a witness that is summoned to appear attends on the date of appearance and remains in attendance until excused by the chairperson. There is no requirement to alert a witness as to how long he or she may be on the stand. In fact, the Commissions Act makes it an offence to not remain in attendance without sufficient cause. The reasons that I hear my learned friend offering for not being able to be in attendance tomorrow, in my view, and I submit, do not count as sufficient cause. One of the Major General's duties is to testify before this Commission. That is what he's here to do, and to do so fully and frankly, and to do so in order to assist the work of the Commission. And so I oppose the request that the Major General is excused after one day.
Thank you, Ms. Hassan. Do you wish to respond to that, Ms. Mafisa?
Yes, I do, Commissioners.
Yes.
Commissioners, I do think it's only fair from the Commission side. I do understand the subpoena states that the Major General is expected to be present to give his testimony from the 27th until the testimony is complete. But I do think it's only fair that the Commission actually give some sort of an indication as to how many days they foresee the testimony taking. Major General Senona was present on the 26th of November. He is present today. So he has met the subpoena. He satisfied the subpoena. His presence is here. I do not see the risk or the danger to merely cut his testimony into two parts. We have seen with many other witnesses where the testimony is cut into two parts, and we can confirm that Major General Senona is more than willing to come back to the Commission to continue with his testimony. I do think the aspect of him receiving an extension of his leave should also be considered by the Commissioners, because if he were to continue on the 28th of January, we would be placing Major General Senona in a position of being derelict of his duties.
What's crucial in what you said, Ms. Mafisa, is that you are aware that the General is supposed to be here today and beyond for as long as he's required to be here to continue with his testimony. That's very important. The General is obviously also aware of that. It was his choice to make leave arrangements just for one day. He could, and I've not heard you suggest otherwise, he could have made those arrangements to go beyond today. Why he chose to do it differently, I have no idea, and you have not explained to us why that is so. I will not be doing a back and forth. I'm now at the stage where we as this commission must make a ruling, and our ruling is going to be in accordance with what the Commissions Act provides, and also in accordance with our direction for the General's appearance. And he's required to be here until his testimony has been completed. What he does with his leave arrangements is his business, and he will have to attend to that. So the ruling is, General, you are required to be here today and tomorrow. And if tomorrow, for whatever reason, we reach a point at which we must continue beyond tomorrow, you are required to be here beyond tomorrow as well. Do you understand that?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning. I was still going to greet you properly, and I normally greet witnesses just before I administer the oath. Things started differently today, so I apologize for that. Good morning to you too. You do understand, you say?
I do understand,
Thank you very much, General. Thank you, Ms. Mafisa.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. If we could then proceed to administer the oath.
General, will you be swearing or affirming?
I'll be swearing, Commissioners.
Do you swear that the evidence you're going to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, General.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Major General. You've provided a statement to the Commission, together with annexures to support your statement. Can I just confirm that in File 1, that you have File 1 in front of you, that's marked statement?
Correct, Commissioners.
And can you turn to the last page of the statement, in fact, page 33 to be precise? Is that your signature?
Correct, Commissioners.
And you confirm that the contents of the statement are true and correct?
Correct, Commissioners.
And File 2 is the annexures that you've provided, is that correct?
Correct, Commissioners.
And can I just confirm that you have certain additional files in front of you? There should be 3 exhibit files. Do you have 3 exhibit files?
I do have 3 exhibit files that I just received, Commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair, I propose that I allow Major General Senona to provide his version as he has, his oral version based on his written statement in full, with minimal interaction from me. Of course, there will be questions for clarification and so on as you provide your version from myself and from the commissioners. But Major General, I'd like to give you an opportunity to give us your full version before questioning begins. Thank you. You may begin with your statement.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. My statement, on the first page, it will talk to the contents of my statement. There will be an introduction. The second one, it will be matters to be addressed. The third one, qualifications and service history. Functions of the DPCI is an abbreviation in full, is Directorate for Priority Crime Investigations. Role as a provincial head, as well as successes that we decided to depict for the purpose of this commission. You see number 7 is role as the provincial head of DPCI KZN, as well as those successes, the subpoena, preliminary submissions. Question 1 on the subpoena infiltration. Question 2, nature of relationship with Mr. Matlala. Question 3, forwarding of disbandment letter. Question 4, business relationship with Mr. Matlala. Question 5, Medicare tender/contract. Question 6, message of 6 March 2025, in brackets with Lieutenant General Kwanazi. Question 7, forward of Ismail Molino Ramos Nangi's affidavit. Question 8, 24 April 2024, screenshot to Mr. Matlala. Number 9, question 9 is contact details of the former minister, Medicare. And number 10 is Potchefstroom and cocaine theft. The last one, it will be the conclusion, Commissioners.
Thank you, Major General. So if you could begin then at paragraph 6 of your statement.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. I began my years within the South African Police Services on the 18th of March 1988. I hold the following qualifications: a certificate in criminal justice education from the University of Virginia in the United States of America, a certificate on FBI National Academic Course of Instruction, a national diploma in police administration from Technikon SA, a BTech honors in policing from Pretoria Technikon, a doctorate of philosophy in leadership honoris causa from Trinity International Bible University, as well as a doctorate in theology honoris causa from the Good Shepherd College of Religion.
Major General, just before you move on, just to clarify, the 2 doctorates are those, you list them as qualifications, are those doctorates for which you defended, or are those honorary doctorates that were conferred on you?
I've just indicated, Commissioners, honoris causa. Thank you, Commissioners. Can I proceed?
Well, I suppose not everybody knows what honoris causa is. That's why the question in general would be helpful.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
And so they are honorary.
It's an honorary doctorate.
Honorary, so it's an honor that was conferred, not a doctorate for which you
Absolutely.
studied. Yes.
Perhaps for the future, if you have them listed like this even in your CV, please do not list them under qualifications. List them separately.
I've taken note, Commissioner.
Thank you, thank you.
My service history in the South African Police Services. I joined in March 1998. I was placed in the Vera Brecht SAPS, where I was a student, as a student then. And then in the month of June, we were deployed at the college in Hammanskraal until December, where I attended my basic training and I completed it in December. After completion, I was placed back at SAPS Vera Brecht. In January 1999, I was placed as a student constable detective at the same police station where I was responsible for investigations of crime. 1990, I was promoted to the rank of Lance Sergeant after I wrote the necessary, it is called examinations in order for one to be placed in that rank. So in 1992, I was promoted to the rank of a detective sergeant after I've completed my first year of study at the university, at the Technicon SA.
What's the difference between a Lance Sergeant and a Sergeant?
The difference, Commissioners, is that a Lance Sergeant is a junior to the Sergeant. Even the rank insignia are different. The Lance Sergeant has got chevrons, and the Sergeant has got chevrons and a castle.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. In 1994, I was promoted to the rank of a warrant officer. My duties from 1994 that I've performed as a detective investigator and team leader, I was placed at an area commissioner's office by then in Pretoria. My responsibilities was to track wanted suspects in the region. From 1998 to 2002, I was placed at the murder and robbery unit. At that time, our responsibilities there was the investigations of bank robberies. I think I've omitted something here, chain store robberies, as well as murders that were committed with a firearm, where at the time of reporting, the perpetrators of those crimes were unknown. In 2002, I was promoted to the rank of a captain, and I was placed also at the area commissioner's office as a task team coordinator. I coordinated the task team for housebreaking and theft of computers and wanted suspects. There were 3 task teams that we coordinated. From 2003 to 2007, I was the head of detectives. But I want to say 2003 to 2005, I was at the Valeria Detective Services, SAPS Valeria, here in Pretoria. And then from 2005 until 2007, I was head of detectives at the Silverton Police Station. 2007 to 2009, I was appointed as the program manager at the rank of a senior special investigator, Gauteng Region, Directorate of Special Operations, commonly known as the Scorpion. In 2010 to 2012, I was appointed as a colonel, as the unit commander of serious organized crime investigations in Pretoria, responsible for investigations of that nature in that region. 2012 to 2014, I think around February, I was appointed as the 18th provincial commander. The rank required a brigadier, but I was a colonel, serious organized crime in DPCI Gauteng, because the incumbent at that time was deployed elsewhere to assist with the managerial responsibilities. In 2014 to 2017, I was sent back to my unit in Pretoria Serious Organized Crime, which falls under the DPCI. Even the one I was acting falls under the DPCI. In 2018 until 2020, I was appointed or placed as a section head, project-driven investigations, organized crime at head office at the level of a brigadier. I beg your pardon, Commissioners, I jumped this one, 2017 to 2018. I got promoted. I was appointed as a brigadier, provincial head, SAPS Organized Crime Investigation, Detective Services in the Mpumalanga province. And then in 2018 to 2020, that's where I was transferred by the management to head office as a section head, project-driven investigations, where I was responsible to reinvent the OCTA process, or the Organized Crime Threats Analysis, and I was responsible to also reinvent the POCS, Provincial Organized Crime Secretariat, as well as the NOCS, National Organized Crime Secretariat, where we were dealing with the covert operations. So the crime intelligence will present some threats, and then when they present these threats, we will evaluate and then present before the National Organized Crime Secretariat for approval, monitoring, extensions, as well as terminations of those projects. I was traveling all over the country reinventing this, because after the establishment of the DPCI, these responsibilities went to DPCI, but now later the management decided to open up again the organized crime and commercial crime within the greater service, SAPS. And in 2020, commissioners, I was appointed to the rank of a Major General at the DPCI KwaZulu-Natal. I have attached my full CV as the annexure S1 on my bundle of annexures. Commissioners.
And that's the position you still hold?
That is the position I'm still holding, Commissioners.
Just clarify for me in terms of the hierarchy. If you are a provincial head of DPCI, who do you report to? Who's your immediate supervisor?
Thank you, Commissioners. In terms of the provision of Chapter 6A, 17, Section 17, Chapter 6A, Section 17 of the Police Act, the provincial head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigations reports directly to the national head of the DPCI.
So you don't report to the National Commissioner of Police or Provincial Commissioner of Police. There is simply not that line of reporting.
The line of reporting is directed by the Act. I will report to the national head, and the national head is accountable to the minister. If it is there in Section 17CA of the Police Act, the Chapter 6 that was inserted in the establishment of the Directorate. Thank you, Commissioners.
So to be clear, you do not report to the National Commissioner?
I don't.
And the National Commissioner has no jurisdiction over any aspect of your employment?
I report to the national head of the Directorate. I've got no dealings with the National Commissioner. If the National Commissioner maybe needed something from me, he will go via maybe the minister or the national head. The national head will instruct me to do whatever I needed to do, and I won't report directly to the site. I'll report to the national head, who will in turn talk to the National Commissioner. I don't write to them.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. The DPCI was established on the 20th of February 2009 in terms of Section 17C, subsection 1 of the SAPS Act 68 of 1995, called SAPS Act. The Directorate is comprised of the national head, appointed by the Minister of Police in concurrence with Cabinet, the Deputy National Head, the Provincial Heads, and officers appointed to the Directorate based on the required level of experience, training, skills, competencies, and knowledge. The DPCI is independent operationally from the South African Police Services. I omitted to put operationally there because we still get our salaries and salary advices through them, the mother body. But in terms of the Clinista case, we were supposed to be fully independent, but we're not. We still go in there, but operationally we're independent. The DPCI is independent operational from the SAPS, and it is tasked to prevent, combat, and investigate, and the investigation of national priority offences. Section 17A of the SAPS defines national priority offences as organized crime, crime that requires national prevention or investigation, or crimes which require specialized skills in the prevention and investigation thereof. This is what is contained in the Act. The national head determines whether a particular crime is a national priority offence for the investigation of the Directorate. His determination, as circumscribed by legislation, Section 16, subsection 2 of the Police Act, and the policy guidelines set by the Minister in concurrence with Parliament. Section 16.3 of the SAPS Act provides that in the event of a dispute between the national head of the Directorate and the National Commission of Police or Provincial Commission of Police on whether a criminal conduct or an endeavour thereto falls within the mandate of the Directorate, the determination of the national head shall prevail. The Directorate consists of the following divisions in the province that I'm serving. There is a component called serious organized crime, which is responsible for the investigation of drug trafficking, human trafficking, kidnappings, with the ransom, cash in transit, police murders, crimes against the state, to mention a few. The second one is serious commercial crime investigations that talks to addressing banking crimes, government frauds, and counterfeit, just to mention a few. There is a component called serious corruption investigations, which deals with public and private sector corruptions, as well as fraud and corruptions within the JCPS cluster. There is another component that is priority crime specialized investigation, which investigates cyber crimes, financial investigations, as well as asset forfeiture investigations. The next one is the Priority Crime Management Center, which is responsible for analysis of notebook profilings of people who are subjects of investigations, as well as the threat assessments in line with the national priority offences. My role, the last one, Commissioners, is corporate support services. This section is responsible for supply chain management, human resource management, as well as finances in KwaZulu-Natal province. My role as the provincial head. As the provincial head, I'm directly accountable to the national head. I've been appointed for a period of 7 years, non-renewable contract. Maybe to add on this, Commissioners, is that I think I'm left with, we're in January now. 1 year and 6 months. Then I'll be warm of the stoop. Thank you, Commissioners.
So June 2027 is when your term
End of
ends?
July.
July 2027.
2027 is my last month in the service, and I'll be 61 years, 1 month.
Thank you.
Management of specialized investigations and operational support in the province of KZN, ensure the effective and efficient management of priority crime and analysis thereof, ensuring the operational support capabilities within the DPCI KZN province are functioning according to the relevant legislations and directives and policies, the management and implementation of strategies from National Head Office to ensure effective prevention, combating and investigation of national priority offences, maintaining effective management information and strategic planning services within the DPCI in the province where I am employed, providing performance and implementation monitoring and evaluation reports to the national head. Commissioners, I thought I must also share this with you today. Successes, just a little bit of them that myself and my management have managed to achieve through the strategies that we have employed in the province upon my appointment. Throughout, in March this year, I'll be 38 years in the law enforcement. Although there was a break in between when I left the police to the Scorpions, then I came back, both combined, 38 years, 18th of March this year. Throughout my 38 years of service, I held a level of excellence in carrying out my duties. This is particularly evidenced by my achievement in the DPCI KZN under my tenure. I have elected to list this achievement as the allegations against me depict an unscrupulous senior officials when only the opposite holds true.
General, maybe before you proceed, just so that we don't go back to this, because now you're going to be discussing specific cases or crimes. What are the, currently as matters stand, what are the crimes that have been determined as national priorities? Because you mentioned in 18.1 that you are responsible for the effective, efficient, preventing, combating, and investigation of national priority crimes. What are those as matters stand now?
Thank you, Commissioners. You will see in page 6 of my statement, paragraph 15, I've indicated, just to mention a few, drug trafficking, human trafficking, kidnapping with a ransom, cash in transit haste, police murders, crimes against the state. This falls within the component of serious organized crime, just to mention a few. I must indicate to the Commissioners that, you see the CITs, in around 2018, they were investigated by detective services, where we dealt with a project that was addressing the scourge of this cash in transit. But thereafter, the then acting national head issued a directive in writing to declare the CITs a national priority offence, as it is said, stipulated in the law. Hence, today, the DPCI is investigating these crimes. Over and above that, Commissioners, the other crimes is banking crimes, not this normal fraud, but the frauds that are above the value of 500,000, and then there are other elements that are listed in order to qualify. It's not only the value. Sometimes the value might be less, but you find out the way the crime was committed and the public interest and all those other factors. If they fall within that scope, then the DPCI shall investigate. You might find a fraud of 3 million. People will think, because the value is beyond 500, the DPCI must deal with it. It's not only that determines that. So there is a mandate that has been authorized by the retired national head that outline all these type of crimes. If one has forgotten, you go to the mandate, it will assist you. And then there's a government fraud. We talk about the issues of where there is a fraud in terms of this procurement of people. People will come and tender certain things. Sometimes they submit fraudulent documents in order for them to be appointed as a service providers there. You have also counterfeit goods, and then those are one of the serious crimes, according to me, where they have an impact on the economy of the country. For lack of a better word, they say Hong Kong, the street language, but it's counterfeit goods. So the other ones is indeed corruption within the public and the private sector, as well as the JCPS. Over and above this, if in...
As well as the JC what?
JCPS cluster.
I'm terrible with acronyms. What's that?
Justice and Crime Prevention and Security Cluster.
Thank you.
I hope I've responded to the question of my commissioner. Thank you very much. I was saying my province, in the time till to date, that I have also submitted as an annexure S2, we managed to seize and successfully stored a cocaine to the street value of 1,649,000,000, and a list of all seizures is charged as hereto as annexure S2. I think it was the first time in the country, or even in the province, that this amount of cocaine, including heroin, was seized within the space of what I've been dealing with at KwaZulu-Natal. Of note, in November last...
Sorry, Major General, can we go to Annexure S2?
Yes, Commissioners.
And if you could just explain, because I think what you say in your statement now is to focus on just a few, right, in paragraph 21. Is that correct?
I'm listening.
Is that correct?
What did you say?
In paragraph 21, are you just highlighting a few?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and I just want to confirm that these that you're highlighting in paragraph 21 come from Annexure S2.
Correct, Commissioner. As well as Annexure S3.
As well as S3.
Sorry, were we not in paragraph 20? I see 21 deals with S3.
That's what I'm trying to understand, whether the few that are highlighted here are from S2 and S3, or only S2. Are you going to deal with S2, or do you want to just move on to S3?
Commissioners, the few that are mentioned here, as I indicated, it starts from paragraph 20 of my statement, as Commissioner Kumar has indicated, correctly said so, and then it goes further to paragraph 21 with 21.1, 21.2, 21.3, which means it will be S2 as well as S3 in my bundle of documents.
Could we turn to S2?
Come again?
Could you turn to S2?
I am on S2.
Okay, so it says DPCI, KwaZulu-Natal, major heroin and cocaine seizures 2020 to date. I just want to understand who prepared this document and when.
This document, we normally have this type of things. The members will report, we keep a database of certain things. And then for the purpose of this commission, I requested my people to just say, give me this one and this one and this one, and then we confirm with everybody that is dealing with my statistics at the office and say, I want to talk about this and this one and this one. I've selected this one. It's me who selected.
Okay, so this was prepared for the commission?
For the commission.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
So, General, in that paragraph 20, you say the province seized and successfully stored. What does it mean, successfully stored?
Which means, I'm saying successfully stored, it means that we were provided with the storage facility of these cocaines by the management, because you'll see at the lecture when I testify in terms of the theft of cocaine, there was a problem, but I'll deal with that when I arrive there. But for now, here on this seizures, we were assisted with the storage facility.
When you say successfully stored, it's not speaking to there were no losses of this.
Yeah, there were no. Correct, Commissioner. I think you assisted me. Thank you very much. There were no losses. That is the explanation.
All right. Thank you.
Of the successfully stored. There were no losses.
Thank you.
1,649 million.
And the 1.6 billion is made up of several seizures.
Correct, Commissioner.
Not just one.
Not just one.
All right, thank you.
It is a number of them, and then they are depicted in this S2.
S2.
General, please clarify this annexure S2, because on the first page, there is the DPCI Hawks logo. But then from the second to last pages, on your right, it's a SAPS logo. So I'm wondering, who did the seizures? Is it the SAPS or is it the Hawks? Or are you taking credit for the work of the SAPS? I mean, I'm just trying to understand.
Commissioners, when I do my presentations, mostly at the first page, it will talk about us, the DPCI. And then when we continue, we utilize the SAPS page, but it's us, the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation. So you'll see when we come, we'll tell you who we are, and then we continue. Hence, we are saying administratively, for some other reasons, we still decide. But hence, we have utilized this template for the presentation.
I couldn't help but notice on page 28 of the same document, it's SAPS vehicles that are there. So
page
28 and 30, for example.
Yes. Commissioners, you want me to respond?
Yes.
The DPCI, in terms of section 17, I think I talk under correction F. We are expected to be a multidisciplinary approach. That is the methodology we are approaching. So we don't work in isolation, alone when we do our operations. We have other law enforcement like your uniform branch, your combat. We don't have combat. We don't have uniform branch. We don't have crime intelligence. They are within the mother body structures. And then sometimes we also have our external stakeholders. So here, specifically, when you look at this party, there's also border policing that is a national component that we mostly work with at the harbor there in Durban. So those are, and also sometimes you'll find customs being part of the operations because we have employed the multidisciplinary or integrated approach in discharging our duties in order for us to achieve our set objectives.
Thanks. So Major General, I think we understand that because the capacity comes from different parts of law enforcement in order to conduct operations of this kind. They're not small operations. So it's different components of law enforcement that are involved in the operation, correct?
We invite them. Not that they don't just become involved for the purpose of involving. We contract them to our operations.
So it's under your command?
Absolutely, as well as the operational methodology of the Directorate.
And so these operations that you've referred to here, including on page 28, are under your watch?
Absolutely true.
Thank you.
Commissioners, can I proceed? Paragraph 21.1, in November last year, we managed to seize counterfeit goods with a brand label such as Gucci, Nike, and Adidas, worth of 53,572,837 rands at the Green Africa Container Depot there next to the harbour there. In December last year, we also seized illicit cigarettes to the value of 38,758,000 rand in a warehouse there in Pietermaritzburg. That is also part and parcel of KwaZulu-Natal province, then I'm saving that as well. I have offices there. In total, we have confiscated illicit counterfeit goods worth 97,330,000 rand, 837 rands. And then I have attached my evidencing report as per Annexure S3. These are but a few of the achievements from 2020, Commissioners. I didn't want to add a lot of things. You shall remember that in July 2021, we have this insurrection in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Also that operations was under my command, and even the cases are before the High Court as we speak. Those operations were managed and operationalized by my office, and we spent a lot of hours, so I don't want to waste time of the Commission by outlining, all the successes that the DPCI KZN has achieved. I just want to mention this few for the Commission's consumption. I have now I want to talk to the subpoena, preliminary submissions. Commissioners, I have been implicated by Lieutenant General S.D. Kumalo, Witness X and Witness C before this Commission. I have, however, only received one Rule 3 notice, which reads, the testimony of Lieutenant General Kumalo implicates you in matters under investigations, in particular inter alia. Improper use of your position as head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, KwaZulu-Natal, in that you leaked sensitive and or confidential and classified SAPS information or documents or caused same to be leaked to Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala in a business partner of your son, Thato Senona. 1.2. Improper use of your position as head of the DPCI KZN to unduly benefit Mr. Matlala and other members and associates of the so-called Big Five cartel. At the outset, I submit that these allegations above are malicious, void of truth, and amount to conjecture. I deny having leaked any confidential information or using my position as the provincial head for benefit of Mr. Matlala or the Big Five cartel. I look forward to providing my testimony to illustrate the aforesaid. Commissioners, I must say, I don't even know what is this thing called Big Five cartel. I only know Big Five in the country. If the commissioners want to allow me to say the Big Five that I know, I'll say it. But for the benefit of doubt and clarity, the Big Five that I know is an elephant, a lion, a buffalo, a rhinoceros, and a leopard. Those are the Big Five I know in the country. But this that is mentioned here, I don't know. What are they talking about?
Are you aware of cartels that exist, whether they are drug cartels or CIT or extortion? Are you aware of those kind of cartels?
I know of syndicates that I have addressed in my province that are dealing in drugs. I know that we deal with a lot of groupings, a group of people that are committing CITs on a regular basis. I know of a group of people that were dealing with the drive-by shooting, of which it was not part and parcel of our mandate, but it was a threat that was emanating in KwaZulu-Natal, that I approached the provincial commissioner with an operational plan in order to address that. He gave a go-ahead, then we stabilized that, and then we withdrew from that and continue with our mandate.
Are those cartels confined to the province, or do they have tentacles that extend beyond the province?
The ones that
you're talking about cross-border.
The ones that we have already addressed and we're currently addressing at my province, they are within the province. We don't have others that are moving out of the province. We have not yet identified people there, except in that investigations of the July 2021, where you'll find out there are people that are linked also from Gauteng, few in Free State, and then some, I think, to some extent, Northwest, if my memory serves me well. But other than that, the syndicates that I've dealt with and that I'm dealing with are limited to the KwaZulu-Natal province.
Thank you.
Just so we are clear, you do know what a cartel is? Because in your response, you only refer to syndicates as if it's something different from a cartel. So I just want to understand from you, you do know what a cartel is?
Thank you, Commissioner. I went and checked. Yeah, now I do know what is a cartel. I think it's a synonym of a syndicate. Thank you, Commissioners.
Is it, though, General? Are the two synonyms?
I believe so, Commissioner, that a cartel might be a synonym of a syndicate. That's my belief. I might be wrong, but I stand to be corrected. That's my understanding, sir.
I thought your seniors who gave evidence before you suggested that there is a difference, but let's leave it there. Thank you.
Normally, this word is utilized outside the borders of the country when we meet with other law enforcement. Here in South Africa, we talk about a syndicate. It's like when you say organized crime. There is a difference of a Z and a S. Here we use S when we say organized crime, but outside they use a Z. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks. Commissioner Chair, perhaps it would help if, Major General, you could just define a syndicate then for us, so we know that what you mean when you talk about syndicates.
A syndicate is more closely to what we call people who are committing organized crime. But according to my understanding, I'm just going to give you a description, not necessarily a definition to that effect. It's two or more people working together committing crime on a continuous basis. The main purpose is to have money and power. That is my description and my understanding of a syndicate. Commissioners.
Thank you.
Question 1, infiltration within the SAPS. Prior to addressing my knowledge of the allegation of criminal syndicate infiltration, corruption, and political interference within the criminal justice system, I deem it prudent to discuss the manner in which the investigations within the DPCI are conducted. Criminal investigations within the DPCI and SAPS by nature rely on secrecy or for effective law enforcement. Confidentiality is indispensable to the operations as it protects the witnesses, undercover police operations, and intelligence. As head of the DPCI KwaZulu-Natal.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, again, just for clarification, when you say criminal investigations rely on confidentiality and secrecy, what would be included in criminal investigations? Would it include, presumably would include a docket?
Remember, in DPCI, mostly the cases that we deal with, is major case investigation. It might be one docket, but it can take us a year or two to complete. We call most of our cases major case investigations, and also project-driven investigations that are undercover operations. We don't disclose that. It is on a need-to-know basis. But you'll hear, as I'm continuing with my evidence, what the clear answer to what you have asked me now. It will be depicted in my statement, and I will talk to that. Maybe it will give you a clarity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I'll wait for that. Thanks.
Yeah. As head of the DPCI KZN, I'm privy to criminal investigations that fall under the mandate or Directorate. I am rarely privy to the particularities of investigations within other provinces led by my fellow DPCI heads, or investigations by the Greater Service, SAPS body, and or specialized interventions units such as the PKTT, the Political Killing Task Team, that it will be part and parcel of cost that caused us to be here today, one of the things that caused us to be here. In instances where I do gain knowledge of sensitive information, I think this will answer your question, led by the various heads, I gain the said knowledge through our DPCI National Project Committee Forum. And all the attendees are required to sign the oath of secrecy, even though we possess a top secret security clearance. Commissioners, even at the province, we have a provincial project committee forum that I am chairing on a monthly basis, and there we also sign the oath of secrecy, even though we possess the top secret security clearance. Also, the external stakeholders like your Department of Home Affairs, FIC, NPA, they are required to sign that, and we keep record. The purpose of us doing that is to ensure that people are not going to leak this information. If you find to have done that, you'll have to face the consequences.
And to confirm, you have a top security clearance.
Mine has just expired in September, so it's in the process of being renewed. I've applied. I do have a reference number. I can share it with the commissioners if need be, off camera.
Okay, so
it expired September
25.
Yes.
Thank you.
Commissioners, at the forum, you will find the attendance sometimes of the Deputy National Head and mostly the Divisional Commissioner, National Priority Offences Operations. Component heads, and then you will find external stakeholders, if I've indicated, Department of Home Affairs, National Prosecution Authority representative, and Financial Intelligence Center representative. You will find crime intelligence representative there and DPCI provincial heads. We meet on a quarterly basis to present various project investigations. During these presentations, we are advised to conceal the identities of suspects or any information which may jeopardize the investigations. In that presentation, you won't see the names of the targets. You will just know the facts, what exactly is happening, but you won't see the names of the targets. We further have a DPCI WhatsApp group where we we deposit successes of each province by the provincial heads. It's like when we're sharing those successes and backstories of our successes, and detailed information is never shared via this WhatsApp group. Taking the above into consideration, I cannot say that I am privy to any criminal infiltration within the criminal justice system outside of the DPCI KZN. I therefore possess no knowledge as to the business conducted by the Big Five cartel and the composition of this Big Five cartel. I do know the cases where police officials are corrupted by perpetrators of crime in my province. However, these are individual cases not linked to syndicates. I cannot discuss these cases as most, if not all, are presently under investigations and therefore before court. So to answer also the concern of the evidence leader, we do have single facet cases, even though we don't discuss them in an open space. They remain within that component. Question number 2.
General, my concern with your response to this section of the question is you are dealing with sensitive information of investigations led by DPCI. You are not dealing, for example, with sensitive information relating to investigations by SAPS or various units within the SAPS, such as GCI Ops, such as, for example, the PKTT. So you're only answering part of the question, not the full question. And that's my concern. So can you just answer the full question?
Commissioner, I think in one of my paragraphs I want to go to that one. I've indicated I am not privy to investigations by the Greater Service, I mean the SAPS in its totality. Then I gave an example, I included the PKTT. Even if they do any other task team or whatever, they have currently their own provincial organized crime secretariat where they deal with covert operations. I'm not part of that. I am not privy to those investigations. I was telling the commission here, what is it that General Senona is privy to? But the rest that I'm not talking about, I bear no knowledge of that, Commissioner.
General, sorry,
Go ahead.
Yes, General, and I'm hoping this is just a clarification question because I know we're still in that territory. You say in paragraph 32, I can, however, positively affirm that there is no cartel infiltration within the DPCI KZN. Now, I imagine cartel infiltrators will not announce themselves. If you've got them already, they're not going to announce themselves that we are here. How are you able to make such a definitive statement?
Thank you, Commissioners. I bear no knowledge of that infiltration. So eventually, nobody, even the crime intelligence in the province, came and presented a threat that suggests to talk about the cartel infiltration of DPCI KZN, as well as our PCMC, Priority Crime Management Center, those that are dealing with the threat assessments that are emanating. That type of a presentation was never presented before me, so that I can come here and say, fully I agree. Then when I'm asked how many, where, how, and so forth, I must be able to respond to that. Here, I'm talking about that I am knowledgeable of. That I'm not knowledgeable, I can't talk about it, which means from where I'm sitting, there's nothing until I'm advised by my colleagues and say, we have picked up this thing that needs to be dealt with, and we shall deal with it.
Yes. Well, isn't then, and that's exactly what I was interrogating or checking with you, isn't then the correct statement to make, or that you should have made, is I am not aware of any infiltrations in the DPCI KZN. It's a completely different statement to saying there is no such, because in your statement you say there is no such.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think there is a human error in writing this language, English. Bear with me. I beg your pardon.
I accept that. You don't need to say more about it. I just wanted to be sure that I
think the statement that the Commissioner has corrected me about is the most correct statement.
Thank you. Thank you, General.
Thank you. I'm now going to talk about question 2, the nature of my relationship with Mr. Matlala. Commissioners, I met Mr. Matlala around Vusimuzi Matlala around 2018, 2019, I think, around that year. And when we met, we were in Pretoria. It was a wedding, and for that matter, Commissioner Kumalo, it was my traditional wedding.
It was your own wedding.
No, I'm not sure why you are addressing only me, General, but...
Well, you see...
So did you say that it was your own wedding?
For that matter, it's my traditional wedding. When I'm addressing the commissioners, and one of you is looking at me, my mind directly goes to, it's nothing sinister. I'm just afraid to address the chairperson because it's a justice, I'll make a mistake and I might be in trouble to say, I'm justice, sorry, so why are you calling me? But on a lighter note, as far as I can Remember, it was at my wedding in Pretoria when I was. Then there was we were doing this traditional wedding. After we.
So you say 2018 or
2018,
you don't remember
2019.
when your wedding was?
I think it should be 2019 because I went and double checked to be correct.
You
when I
better
come
just
here.
your wife?
Just pray, General. Oh, I wanted to say exactly the same. I wanted to say, just pray that your wife is not listening.
Commissioners, if I'm going to be punished for what I said and then it was wrong, I'll just bend down and then she gave me lunches and then I'll take it. So, Mr. Matlala was introduced to me through a relative of my wife whom she was dating at the time. And then they said he's the owner of VIP Security Services. We exchanged numbers and then I happened to like him. And then that day we never had to talk too much because it was my traditional wedding and there was a lot of
The language you use, General, you say, I took a liking to him and we exchanged numbers. Was there any particular reason for you to like him?
You know, Commissioner, in the location where we grew up, you know, when people, they are introduced to you and then they come humbled before you, you will like a humble person, which means you know you will get respect. You won't be undermined or whatever. You know, there are people when they are introduced to you, you find a space that is so funny and that, yeah, hello, how are you? But if a person come and say, hey, hello, my brother, those type of things with respect, that thing makes a mark. There is a verse in the Bible, James chapter 4, verse 10. It says, humble yourself and the Lord will lift you up. That's the vision of where I come from. You don't have to make noise. Just humble yourself.
General, just so that we don't go back and forth, where was this area? You say in Pretoria, was it in a township? And was this the first time you saw Mr. Matlala? Or you had seen him before, but you were only formally introduced in 2019?
It was the first time. It was in Mamelodi.
Perhaps for the record, what I said was Sotho for you like humility.
I didn't hear that well, Commissioner.
No, I was translating into English the bit about Horata Wikokobetso.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. So you'll realize that I've never met Mr. Matlala because he's a business person. My relationship with Mr. Matlala is not because he's running a security company, he's doing this, I am the head of the Hawks. Even there, I never said I'm head of the Hawks. I was introduced as the husband to my wife. And my wife and him happen to share the same surname.
But he may well have been told that you're head of the Hawks. You don't know.
Somebody there, but not me.
Yes.
It's not secret.
I can't say people, those who knows where I'm working, but you'll realize, I want to bring this under your attention, Commissioners, that I have seriously huge successes in my province. I don't like media. I don't sell myself. People, they started to know me too much and my faces because of this commission. A lot of people didn't know who I am or what. Some might know the name, but they can't know the face. That is how I live. I don't like media. You'll realize most of our successes. I'll be standing there. If you know me, you'll see me from behind. While the provincial commission is addressing the media, I run away from media because I don't like publicity. That's one of my principles. Thank you, Commissioners.
Sorry, just you said that your wife shares a surname with Mr. Matlala. Are they related?
I don't want to answer that question.
Why not?
No, it's not parcel and parcel of this. I don't want to.
But they share a surname, but you don't want to say whether they're related.
They share a
or not.
surname. I don't want to answer that question.
But she knows Mr. Matlala.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioners.
General, if I may just ask, I think it's not sufficient for a witness who's asked a question to simply say, I don't want to answer the question. I think you have to say more. For what it's worth, but I think you have to say why you don't want to answer that question.
Commissioner, I hear what you're saying to me. Earlier, one of the commissioners said, hey, I don't know what your wife said. She also said that. So I don't want to create animosity in my own house by talking about the line of their relatives and so forth. Hence, I also say he was dating a relative of my wife. So this thing of related and what, I beg your pardon. I'm begging for your mercy. I do not want to respond. Allow me not to respond now. But if I'm compelled, I'll request to seek legal advice.
Yes, that's fair. If you're compelled, you will deal with it at that point. But I think what has to be understood is witnesses are not free to choose questions that they answer or don't answer without providing an explanation. The question of your explanation is a question of weighing whether it's a good enough explanation. We leave it at that point, or we make a pronouncement about it at some point. But I think the point that I wanted to make is witnesses don't get to pick and choose what questions they answer. You are here to assist the commission. And if you are asked a question that you have concerns about answering, you do have an obligation to say more than I don't want to answer. That's the only point I wanted to make.
Thank you, Commissioners. You see, I will say by virtue of the surnames, I don't think there is a relation there, by virtue of the surnames. I don't think so, because, and then number two, he was dating a family member of my wife. But now, when you look at the issue of the family member, maybe they might have been related through that relationship, but this one of the surnames, I don't know.
Thank you, General.
Thank you, Commissioner.
That's fine, General. I asked because you offered that evidence. You are the one who said that he shares the same surname.
Yeah, they share the same
So
surname.
that is why I asked that question. But I think, there's a relation, you said. And so that answers the question, and we can move on.
Commissioners, our relationship developed over the years, and I consider him as a friend or younger brother because he's younger than me, Mr. Matlala. You know, in our culture, once we started to develop a relationship, we don't know call each other friends, or what you said, call each other brother, uputi. So, as can be seen from the WhatsApp chats, Mr. Matlala and I will regularly check in with each other and would arrange to meet whenever he was in Durban or I in Pretoria. Our meetings were purely that of a social nature. I must make it plain to the Commission that since the beginning of my tenure at DPCI, KZN, Mr. Matlala has never been a subject of investigation within the Directorate since 2020 when I took up office till today. And Mr. Matlala, further to that, the name Vusimuzi Matlala has never been mentioned at the National Management Forum as well as the National Project Committee Forum. Also in my PPC, my Provincial Project Forum. So I also sit in the Provincial Management Forum. Sometimes we'll discuss certain things there in the management. Only generals will sit there with the Provincial Commissioner. If there are things that are giving the Provincial Commissioner a problem, he will mention them there. But that had never happened in my presence. I therefore possessed no knowledge of Mr. Matlala's alleged criminal ties and or activities. That is my response to this question 2 in relation to our nature of relationship. I want to go to paragraph 37 that talks to WhatsApp exchanges, December 2024 to 2025 January. As stated above, Mr. Matlala and I were friends and met on a regular basis. I did on occasion meet with Mr. Matlala to advise him on security matters concerning the CAT VIP security. That is the only business by then I knew that it was vibrant with him. I have further connected him to third parties to assist him that are specializing in risk management to assist him. As a younger brother, sometimes we'll say, look into the issues. If this will happen, how are you going to mitigate the risk in order for you to move on with business? These communications are dated 25 December 2024, as well as 28 December and 15 January 2025. Concerning a third party, I had referred to Mr. Matlala that conducts this risk assessment. I cannot give further details concerning the finalization and of details of the contract because the assessment of the risk assessment for CAT VIP protection as the contract was between the two people, Mr. Matlala and the third party. I only assisted by introducing those individuals. When I come to the question 3.
Sorry, just to clarify on that point. So your assistance was only to introduce Mr. Matlala to
a third party. And
you did not participate in any discussions regarding the risk assessment of his company?
What I did, I advised him, he must, from time to time, do a risk assessment. I'll give you an example. Maybe you understand what is a risk assessment. But once then he developed interest in risk assessment. What do you mean? And then I will explain several things to him. Then I said, there is so and so. I will make sure you meet with him so that he can assist you with this. And then if you are happy, you can continue with that type of a contract with that person, if I can answer your question.
Okay, so what I'm asking is, you introduced him to a third party?
Yes.
How did you do that? Were you at a meeting?
No.
How did you do it?
When he agreed to meet, I did call that gentleman, unfortunately, and then I called Mr. Matlala, and then I said, this is the guy who will see you. When can he come and where? And then he said he can come to the offices. And then I told that one, I said, this is the number of Mr. Matlala. I gave it to him, and then I said, continue. Then when I was in KZN, then they did it here in Pretoria.
Thank you.
Question 3, forwarding of the disbandment letter to Mr. Matlala. As it is known by the Commission that the letter has been leaked as of 1st of January 2025, I merely forwarded the letter to Mr. Matlala as it was garnering the attention of many, including myself, on social media.
General, Ms. Hassim, I know you said no probing questions, but perhaps what I want to ask may, in a sense, cross the line, but I just feel I must ask the questions at this stage. General, to your knowledge, was the disbandment of the PKTT a subject of interest to Mr. Matlala?
We were just sharing information that was on social media, and
Can you please just answer the question directly? Was this a subject of interest to Mr. Matlala?
I do not know if it was a subject of interest to him, Commissioner.
So did you forward the letter to him of your own accord, or had he asked for it?
It was on my own accord, Commissioner.
Of your own accord. And if you were not aware that this was a subject of interest to him, why would you have done so?
I was not aware, but we are sharing things that are on social media that are garnering the attention of many. It garnered my attention, and we just share. I just forwarded it to him, and then after I forwarded him, I just left it there. We never had to discuss a lot of things here, and then because we were sharing issues that are on the social media.
And how many friends do you have? Are you able to tell? I know it's a difficult question.
How many?
How many friends do you have? I know it's a difficult question. You may say 15 or above 15 or whatever.
It's a difficult question, as the Commissioner has said. I don't know how to answer
But
that.
quite a large number.
Come again?
But quite a large number.
It can be. I doubt.
You have very few friends.
Come again?
You have very few friends.
Yeah, not too much. And then colleagues is not my friends. I have colleagues, then I have friends.
And did you forward this to any of your other friends?
I believe I might have. I believe I might have, because I might have not sent it only to him. I think I might have also talked to my colleagues about this.
No, sharing, not talking.
Or sharing.
Did you share?
I believe I might have, Commissioners.
You don't know for a fact that you did.
No, I believe I might have. There's no way that if this I shared it with him, there must be 2 or 3, 4 people that I've sent to. I believe I might have.
Friends who also had no interest in the disbandment of the PKT.
Of course, yes, Commissioner.
And if you go back to your records, do you assure me that you'll be able to show me or show this commission the other people that you shared the disbandment letter with, the other friends that you shared the disbandment letter with? Say tomorrow, if by tomorrow I say, please show us the other friends that you shared the disbandment letter with, friends that had no interest in the disbandment of the PKT. Would you be able to do that?
Hence I said
By tomorrow.
Hence I said I believe, Commissioners, because the phone that I was utilizing by then got damaged, and then I couldn't be utilized again. And now I had to get another instrument.
So you would not be able to show us?
I checked on this one. I asked people to check for me, because some of these things I'm told they sit there on the iCloud, but I couldn't find. Even the one to show me that I've sent it to him, I can't find that one. I only relied on what was sent to me by the Commission.
One last question or comment. Would you agree if I suggest to you that it is very strange that you would have shared with Mr. Matlala a letter disbanding the PKTT if you did not know him to have any interest in the subject of the PKTT? Would you agree with me that that's very strange?
I do not agree, Commissioner, because I was not aware he's the subject of investigation by the PKTT or any other unit within the South African Police.
Exactly my point. Exactly because you did not know that, so you randomly share the disbandment letter with him.
As I'm saying, it is unfortunate that they found it in his own gadget. And when they found it from his gadget, unfortunately, when I received the documents from the Commission, I tried to recuperate, to try and get the information to see is him and who. But unfortunately, I couldn't get that. But I disagree with that. I sent it to him because there was knowledge of me knowing that he is being investigated. I didn't know, Commissioners.
I said nothing about him being investigated. I have not said anything. I'm just focusing on you not knowing him to have an interest in the PKTT, and you randomly send or forward to him the disbandment letter. I have not said anything about an investigation.
Commissioners, when sometimes you send things to your contacts and everything, it's not the issue of we do have an interest in this thing. We just share randomly, just to talk about things, current affairs, that, hey, this is what. But the issue of that I send it with ulterior motives, no, it's not there.
I don't for once hear you say, and you then discussed it as a matter that's out there, as a current affairs matter, as it were. I do not hear to say that at all. You just put forward it.
Commissioner, you'll see.
Nor do I understand that he responded to you forwarding this to him, responded in the sense of it being a social or a current affairs matter. I don't see that anywhere.
Commissioner, as we move on with this so-called screenshot messages, you will see that there will be some things that we have exchanged, but without talking thereafter, or even before. It is not a new thing that specifically for this one we never said and discussed certain things. There are at some stages where we will talk, at some stages we won't talk.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, General.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm
Thank you, Chair.
going
Sorry, Chair.
Before you proceed, maybe just to clarify, before you forwarded Mr. Matlala this letter, this disbandment letter, before that day, had you shared with him and forwarded to him anything else to do with SAPS business or SAPS affairs?
Thank you, Commissioner. I can't recollect now before, but maybe as I've indicated earlier that I had a problem with my gadget. It was going to help me a lot to recollect, because when you do things with your friends or family and everything, it is difficult to keep track record exactly. Now it is an unfortunate situation. I'm sitting here, given these documents by the commission, presented by the witnesses, and then I'm trying to recollect all these kind of things. And then wherever I remember, I will respond. Wherever I'm struggling to remember, I'm just afraid to come and say I assume, or it is my opinion 1, 2, 3, because I want to assist the commission to give only facts, not assumptions or speculations. I want to assist the commission. I didn't come here to speculate or assume or think this is this. I came here to come and give facts that are not to my knowledge. I won't be able to provide, but it is an unfortunate situation. I wanted to go through my gadget and get that, but unfortunately.
So is the short answer to my question that you don't recall whether you shared with him any information that relates to the SAPS before this letter?
Yes, I don't have a recollection of that,
Okay,
Commissioner.
thank you.
Sorry, Advocate Hassan. Generally, you say in paragraph 34, we're still on page 13, you considered him to be a friend/brother. You're talking about Mr. Matlala. Next paragraph, you say, I would regularly check in with each other and we would arrange to meet whenever he was in Pretoria. I was in Pretoria or Durban, whatever, and our meetings were purely social. So during this social discussion, so when you were checking with him regularly, did he tell you that there was a raid at his house on the 6th of December 2024?
He did inform me, I think in March, around there, if I recall.
March of what?
2025, if I recall, when we were talking.
Yes.
But in our discussion, he never informed me who are these police.
No, I did not ask about.
I'm just
who.
giving
Yes.
a further explanation to your question, Commissioner.
And in this regular checkups, did he tell you that there was a raid at CAT Security Services where his weapons were seized in mid to late December 2024?
He did tell me that there was this thing, and then the police came to do inspection of firearms, the compliance. Then I said, if they're doing the compliance, so what? Allow them to do their job.
And when did he tell you that?
I am not 100% sure, but he did tell me, Commissioner.
So it goes to Chair's question. For what good reason would you share with Mr. Matlala the disbandment of a political killings task team? What does Mr. Matlala have to do with a political killings task team based in KwaZulu-Natal when he's a security operator in Pretoria or Johannesburg? Why would he be interested in a political killing task team and its disbandment?
Look, I already indicated, Commissioner, that it was a garnering thing in the public domain. We just share it for the purpose of sharing it. I wouldn't want to create answers that are not there for the Commission. I want to give the Commission what I know.
Thank you, General. Let's take the tea adjournment and.
Is there anything else you wish to add on this question of forwarding the disbandment letter to Mr. Matlala?
What I want to add, Commissioners, is that a witness came here before this Commission. Lieutenant Colonel Kumalo testified here and indicated that he saw this letter on social media on the 31st. Lieutenant General Kumalo came here and testified that he saw this letter on social media on the 1st of January, around in the afternoon, and it spoiled his New Year celebration. General Senona, because this thing was garnering on social media, he sent it to Mr. Matlala on the 2nd of January. Already this thing was in the public domain. Every person I had access to this type of a letter. So, and I must say, I deny the allegations that I possess knowledge that Mr. Matlala was being investigated by the PKTT. Further to that, as stated above, I'm only privy to the investigations within the DPCI case, and I couldn't have possibly known that Mr. Matlala was under the investigation by the PKTT. The next one is question
Just a minute, General. Just a minute, General.
Okay, Commissioner.
No, we we're hearing some background noise, General, and it's not even your voice. But we've asked our spokesperson to listen and, if possible, to attend to it. Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, General. You may continue.
Thank you, Commissioner. Allow me to talk to question 4. The heading is business relationship with Thato Senona and Mr. Matlala. At the outset, I would like to state that I have no financial interest in any of Mr. Matlala's business operations, whether it be my son, Thato Senona, or any other individual. Commissioners, my son is 33 years of age. My son is married with 3 kids. We rightfully live our lives independently to each other, but he still remains my son. And for a lighter note, I became a father on earth because of this one. Nevertheless, I came into knowledge of the building business relationship between Mr. Matlala and my son. I do not recall the day, however, during the conversation.
Sorry, Major General, we will keep it to a minimum, but I just need to clarify. You say you came into knowledge of the budding business relationship between Mr. Matlala and my son ex post facto.
Yes.
What exactly do you mean there? When did you come into knowledge? When did you come to have this knowledge?
If you look at the paragraph I was about to talk to, it says, nevertheless, 44, it said, I do not recall the day. However, during the conversations between me and Mr. Matlala, he checked with me whether I knew Thato Senona. And I suppose this prompted him or piqued at his interest because of the surnames are the same. And in my response, I confirmed that Thato Senona is my son.
I hear you say you don't recall the day.
I don't recall.
Do you recall the year or the month?
Come again?
Do you recall the year or month or any other time, anything else about when you came into knowledge? I accept that you don't recall the exact day.
It can't be 2025 early. It should be before that. It can't be 2025 early. It should be in the latter part of 2024.
Latter part of 2024.
It can be in the latter part of 2024, but I don't have a recollection of the date, as I've indicated in my previous saying now, 2 minutes ago, that I can't recall the date. But it can be in the latter part of 2024.
So in the last few months of 2024.
I believe so. I said I didn't want to say I believe so, but since you're asking a question, I believe it's in the latter part of the year, because when he asked me these questions about, do I know Thato Senona?
Thank you.
I confirmed that Thato Senona is my son, and I inquired to know what about him. And then he informed me that my son approached him for a business proposal, and it was alleged by Mr. Matlala that the proposal was in relation to property ventures. And I inquired also from my son about this proposal by Mr. Matlala, or about this statement of Mr. Matlala, in that he approached him for a business proposal in property ventures. And my son confirmed that, yes, we were pursuing business just to look into the issues of property. And yes, in 2025, I see with our communication that the business took off, and I was informed by both my son and Mr. Matlala that they were in the process of acquiring a property in Pretoria. I pause to state that my son works within the construction industry, having registered his business, Thato Senona Holdings, in 2016. I believe that witness X, video assistant advocate, displayed my son's profile and his companies before the commission. It did happen. And I'm saying on the 6th of February, Mr. Matlala excitedly sent me screenshots evidencing the property he had intended to purchase with Thato. Thato is my son, Thato Senona. I responded to Mr. Matlala's message with an image of prayer emoji, saying thank you. A father will be happy if a son is having a job and is working, as long as it is a legitimate job. My interest, commissioners, in the property venture did not go beyond that of a supportive parent. It is a common cause and knowledge that we Africans, when our sons are doing certain things and they need the support, the moral support from the parents, we give them. It is a common cause and it is a common practice. In no way I have facilitated their business relationship. If it is alleged that I supported or facilitated the Pretoria property venture, it is only to the extent of assisting Mr. Matlala to get hold of my son, as can be seen in the WhatsApp chats dated 24 January 2025, stamped 1822 and 1823. The WhatsApp exchanges dated 9 January 2025 depict nothing more than actions of an interested parent in the activities of his son. I had known that Thato was set to meet Mr. Matlala. I therefore merely checking whether the meeting had transpired. For the edification of the commission, nothing came out of that property venture. I want to repeat, nothing came out of that property venture between Mr. Matlala and my son. The witness X so says, I don't know what happened to that property, what is the current status? I'm telling the Commission nothing came out of that property venture between Mr. Matlala and my son, Thato Senona. And I implore the Commission to undertake its own investigation to verify this fact. I'm confident that such inquiry will confirm the absence of any improper conduct or benefit, whether for me or for my son. Taking the above into consideration, witness X allegations in paragraph 9 to 17 are mere conjecture. Witness X failed to prove a beneficial relationship between Mr. Matlala and myself, and further fails to show why the purchase of the property proves untowards me as the provincial head. Commissioners, you'll realize that this witness, when she testified here, when she happened to use the following words, seemingly, it appears to, what was the other word? Presumably. I'm not good in English, but these words on their own, commissioners, they don't show facts. These are pure speculations, and they are causing harm to people's reputations and everything. It is important that people, when they come and testify before this commission, they need to be factual to assist the commission to make a good determination. We must contribute towards the commission's making a good decision at the end of this commission. I want to add on this one that your witness X, to know whether the property is being finalized or not, you go to Remix. They will give you the details and say, no, this thing never happened or it happened. Or you go to CIPC. So I employ the commission to send its people to verify this information. And it is going to be confirmed, as I'm saying now, commissioners. My son is a private citizen who is allowed to conduct legal business within this country. This statement of mine, commissioners, I'm supporting it with the provision of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Chapter 2, that talks to the Bill of Rights. My son has the right, the freedom of trade, the right to freedom of trade with any other person, as long as the business is legit. There's no dodgy businesses around that. His business relations should not and cannot cast a shadow upon me as a parent and or as a provincial, especially when such business is above board. Commissioners, allow me to go to question 5. Medicare 24 Tshwane District contracts with SAPS. I have no knowledge on the broader allegations of criminality surrounding the Medicare 24 tender. My knowledge is limited to the information Mr. Matlala has shared with me and that which I have read in the media. I am aware that the Medicare 24 was founded by Mr. Matlala, as I'm saying, I know what he told me and what I found on the media. Medicare 24 won a bid to provide medical and wellness services to the members of the SAPS at its Pretoria College. The contract price for the tender was 360 million rands. Mr. Matlala experienced payment problems with SAPS. I was informed by Mr. Matlala that his company has stopped receiving purchase orders for the tender. I deny allegation that I have assisted Mr. Matlala in securing the Medicare 24 tender. Tenders of such a high value fall under the national office, national SAPS office or DPCI office if there is there. And these tenders of this value are dealt with by Supply Chain Management Division, which is under the leadership of the Divisional Commissioner of Supply Chain, SAPS. And I believe the Divisional Commissioner did go and testify in the other committee. And he explained it explicitly that they went through the processes and this thing was awarded to Mr. Matlala. Commissioners, another thing that is very much crucial and important, during the process of handling, this process is handled by the said division, and I have no knowledge of SAPS officials sitting within the bid adjudication committee that are dealing with this processing of this contract, and also any other committee members that are seated there. All officials that are participating in these committees are appointed by the National Commissioner of the South African Police Services. The people that deal with these big tenders and everything is done at head office, and may I've got no bearing in the dealings of the National Commissioner's Office or what. I've got a bearing in the dealings of KwaZulu-Natal, DPCI. And then, as I've indicated in my openings, Commissioners, I report to the National Head of the Directorate. So, I therefore never received a kickback of any kind, directly or indirectly, from Mr. Matlala for his securing of the tender. In relation to the purchase orders, I must disclose that on the 15th of April 2025, I accompanied Mr. Matlala to a meeting held between himself and Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. The meeting was organized by the former Minister, General Cele, who was not present on the day. Mr. Matlala has requested me that I accompany him for the moral support as he was not comfortable to meet with the General alone. The meeting was held at the apartment in the Pairs Umhlanga Hotel. Presumably, I'm just ask for your pardon because I used this word that I don't like, but I didn't do an investigation, but I believe that apartment is that of the General Mkhwanazi. Upon arrival, we sat in the living room area. We had conversations of a general nature. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Matlala and Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi began their discussions on the issues of the payments. I am not privy to all that was discussed as I was moving between the living area and the kitchen. My knowledge, however, in terms of my recollection, is that the General agreed to assist Mr. Matlala to get the purchase orders from head office, and then Lieutenant General Nkua was the the end user of the services of this tender. And he spoke about Lieutenant General Nkua's rumors that she owning properties beyond her affordability, which might amount to corruption. And he also offered, there I heard that he also offered to hold, it's the first time I heard about the investigation against Matlala, that to offer allegations of attempted murder against Mr. Matlala for Tebogo Tobejani, in exchange of information in relation to Lieutenant General Sidia in that meeting. Commissioners, in a process there, the General offered me some drinks there. You see, there is a lounge there, and then you go out, you come this side, there's a kitchen, there's some sort of liquor that was placed there. I was drinking. He offered me and I drank. It was after hours. I drank because I'm drinking. Yeah, I was moving up and down. I am aware that I might be required to say, but you must also remember this. If I don't remember, unfortunately, but I was drinking that day, moving up and down. And consequently, the meeting, consequent to the meeting above, on the 26th of November 2025, I received a series of threatening WhatsApp from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. I think they are being attached as per S4. I was sent discharged in response to Mr. Matlala's appearance before the ad hoc committee on the 26th and 27th of November. These messages, they appear threatening to me, they are threatening to me, and Mr. Matlala, and amounts to intimidation. I will take the commission through these messages to bring my testimony on the day. Aside from attending the meeting of the 15th, 2025, I deny any assistance to Mr. Matlala.
Sorry, Major General?
Yes.
This is the day. So do you want to go to the messages now, or do you want to go there later?
Maybe we might go later or now. I don't know what is the commission.
This is your opportunity now to give your version. So
I am aware it's my opportunity, but I've not yet completed.
You've not yet?
Concluded my testimony.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe before I close, I might go there.
Okay.
Unless the commissioner say, do it now.
No, you're moving on to a different topic, and that's why I'm asking, do you want to go there now? If you say you'll come before you conclude, that's fine.
No, if you insist, let's go there. It should be S4. Thank you, Commissioners. You see, there were messages sent to me on 1831 and 1853, and this message were automatically deleted. Like not with this thing, that disappearing message, but I send you a message and I delete it physically there. Unfortunately, I was unable to capture what was said there. But maybe I must read it on record. But I'm afraid to list names. I therefore request.
Before you do that, I'm looking for the date. I struggle to find that date of 26 November.
Okay. If I can present my phone, it will show that. My work phone.
No, sorry, General, I meant on this document.
Yeah, but when you do that, when you screenshot it and do something, sometimes it doesn't appear, but I can help because I saved it.
I'm with you.
I can assist you with this gadget that the SAPS has provided me with. It was, can I look at it? Am I allowed, Commissioner? Okay.
Chair, the request is that in this text that's sent by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, there's reference to other third parties' names, and the request is to not mention those names. And I see no problem in that if we don't mention those names in public.
All the names without exception, because, for example, one name mentioned is actually in the statement. In fact, yeah.
Well, I think that there are names that are not in the statement. So it's the names that are not already covered in the written statement by the witness.
Yes.
That would.
Yeah. Ms. Mafisa, do you want to, please? I think perhaps tomorrow you should just sit there rather than this up and down. Because even if you are there, you are not really talking to the witness, so I don't think the proximity assists in any way.
Chair, perhaps maybe after the lunch adjournment,
Yes.
I'll just bring my files here and sit here.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you, Chairperson. Thank you.
Yeah. I was raising a point about the names not being mentioned.
Yes.
I'm looking at this annexure and looking also at the statement, and I see that there are some names that are mentioned in both documents, or at least I do see one.
Yes.
So is the point you made to your colleague, Ms. Hassim, does it apply to all the names or just some of them?
So just some of the names. So the names that have already been mentioned within the statement, as well as in Major General Senona's testimony, that can be mentioned. However, there is one particular name in that WhatsApp chat, or rather in that screenshot, that we have not included in the testimony, in his statement rather.
There's one name, another one now that I see. Reading too many statements, one gets confused. I see a second name. I remember seeing it when I was preparing on Sunday. Now I'm not sure whether it was in the General Senona statement or in another statement. Let me do what the Americans do. Let me ask counsel to come forward. I'll just show you the name here. Thank you, Ms. Mafisa. This was a useful exercise. So it turns out that the other name I was mentioning can also be mentioned. But
Yes.
now I'm not sure whether the General is aware which name is going to be left out. So
Perhaps maybe my attorney can assist Major General Senona.
perhaps I trust you are I almost said officer of the court. We are not a court. Maybe, but just whisper to the General which name to or not to.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Chair, while my colleague does that, may I please request our team not to flight, not to project that annexure because it isn't appropriately redacted.
Discussion now. I thought it was just mentioning to the witness which name not to divulge. Is it done, Ms. Mafisa?
Unfortunately, Chairperson, there's a particular paragraph actually that should also not be read out loud for safety reasons.
May we-
So I did omit to
May we-
specify.
May we just leave this entire annexure until later?
Please, Chairperson.
So
Thank you.
that
That would,
whatever is done, when it is done, it's structured.
yes, that would assist us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Please continue, General. Let's keep dealing specifically with these texts or chats.
Thank you, Commissioners. I was saying, aside from attending the 15 April 2025, I deny any assistance of Mr. Matlala for the payment of his invoices for the Medicare tender. The message exchanges between Mr. Matlala and myself, dated 15 January, is not proof of the aforesaid, as alleged by witness X in her statement. As previously stated, I was privy to Mr. Matlala's struggles with payments and purchase orders. This is merely another occasion where Mr. Matlala was opening up to me regarding his struggles. This is normal between friends, and it took place again in our WhatsApp exchanges of 13 May 2025. Regarding the message of the 14 April 2025, which reads, "Oh, Nduna, please don't forget to ask our brother about the lady who's stirring problems." Here, I also utilize this name, this word, assume, that I don't want to, but I assume that it may have been concerning the Medicare 24 tender, and his issues are with Lieutenant General Nkua. I unfortunately do not have the best recollection regarding his message. I reiterate, however, that I have never assisted Mr. Matlala in the payment of his invoices or have ever shown questionable concerns over his tender or payments. Concerning the 5 March WhatsApp message exchange, I was merely checking in on a friend. I will admit that the News 24 article concerned me as allegations were disturbing. I discussed the allegations with Mr. Matlala telephonically and grew wary of his innocence. Definitely, this thing played a part in me culminating the decision to start to move away.
Wary or weary?
I don't know the pronunciation, Commissioner. I said wary, but I don't know, is it weary?
Perhaps let me ask what you intended.
Disturbing.
Okay.
Some sort of disturbing. It didn't sit well.
Okay. All right. Thank you, General. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. So this definitely played a part in my culminating decision to start to refrain, moving away from Mr. Matlala gradually. You don't just cut relationship abruptly. So I gradually decided to not and interact with him as previously we did.
Major General, you say this definitely played a part in my culminating decision to cut all contact.
Yeah, I must say, since he was arrested, I cut. I've never even visited him to prison. I've never even tried to access him through a third-party person or whatever. I just cut.
After his arrest.
When he was, I saw it on the news, he was arrested, and then I just cut.
Right.
Then,
but up until that point, you continued to have contact with him?
Look, up until that point, he will call me, I will call him, but my way of talking to him was very wary since I saw this article, because I asked him about it.
Since 5 March?
Yeah, I started to become worried about his conduct.
So your contact with him, you cut contact with him because he was arrested?
Look, it did.
But let me finish my question. But you continued to have contact with him until the date he was arrested, but you say your contact was now very with caution.
Maybe, it was cautionary, 100%. So it was cautionary, but after his arrest, I cut.
Okay. And you say you discussed the allegations with Mr. Matlala. When did you discuss those allegations with him?
I will have to refresh my mind on after I've sent this. Immediately after I sent him this thing, we were on calls. I was telling him, this thing, why are you doing this? Whereas this company is yours. What is the problem now? Why is there changes all of a sudden of these things? Those type of questions you ask a brother. And then you started to become worried. I told him, I started to become worried that this thing, why are you changing? I think this thing is the changing of the directorship of his company. That is the thing that started to worry. If you have a contract with such a big contract and then you decide to change the directorship, what is the cause of that?
And it was because of
that is where I became cautionary and started to say, hey, no, I need to start to reverse.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get that. And just again to confirm, because you do say it, but just to confirm, it was that media article that made you concerned.
It made me very much concerned, yes.
Right. Thank you.
You also say, General, you grew wary of his innocence. Do you mean his claims that he was innocent? Or what do you mean by that?
Come again, Commissioner?
You say you grew wary of his innocence. What do you mean by that?
I was worried about him changing the directorship. Why? Why do you change the directorship if
My focus is on innocence. What do you mean by that part of the statement? Do you see this is 72, 1, 2, 3, fourth line. You grew wary of his innocence. Do you mean innocence
Yes.
or his claims of innocence? What do you mean?
Commissioners, because that article talks about fraud, fraudulently obtained tender. That's what prompted me to go away of his, it's an article. Then it disturbed me and disturbed my...
My focus is just on the language. I want you to please explain the language. What do you mean by what you say there? It's not a complex...
It disturbed me, Commissioner, regarding that he got the tender straight, but why this changing of the directorship?
Okay, I'll leave it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. As I indicated, I discussed these allegations with Mr. Matlala telephonically, and of course the word that is giving us some little bit of a challenge, wary of his innocence. This definitely played a part in culminating my decision. I want to go now to question 6, Commissioners.
Go ahead.
Question 6, message on the 6th of March 2025 regarding General Nkwanase. Mr. Matlala and myself frequently converse about current affairs. This message is nothing more than two friends sharing news clips, articles about matters in the media, like we were sharing that other one. And now here it is evidence that on the 29th of April, there was a message that he also sent to me that was on the news, according to him, and then he forwarded me the message and everything. And then fortunately, I did my response. I can't recall, maybe if I'm allowed to check, if when I sent him this thing, he did respond or what, but I don't remember him responding or us having a call. Sometimes you will send a message to a person and then he doesn't read or respond, of which I'm also doing that.
What was it about, General?
This is a clip is where the General Nkwanase, after he presented in Parliament, and then he addressed the media. ENCA, he addressed the media there that he didn't apply for the Hawks head because it's not going to benefit him. The type of a media briefing clip, statement is just a picture of him and this narrative there, of which we just share things. Because a lot of people, I must say, admired General Nkwanase and myself when things were happening. The country was saying, hey, KZN is doing the right thing while we were fighting stubborn crimes in the province together, partnering together, applying the integrated approach. And people were saying, hey, you and him, General Nkwanasi, are working very close and nicely. They had their own wishes, people. So sometimes you will share certain things with people to say, ish, I so wish. But unfortunately, some of the wishes doesn't come true.
Thank you. You may continue, General.
Thank you, Commissioners. And next question is forward of Ishmael Molot Ramos Nangi's affidavit. Yes, indeed, I agree. I did forward this one to Mr. Matlala. The main reason is that, let me first start by saying, has been leaked to the media. This article was leaked in the media on the 10th of March 2025, and I did send it on the same day. And when I forward sent to Mr. Matlala, I also have attached there a News 24 article evidencing the aforesaid, Annexure S5. I therefore deny allegations that I may have leaked sensitive and/or confidential and/or classified information to Mr. Matlala. I merely sent it to Mr. Matlala to warn him, as this gentleman, Mr. Nangi, we as the province, my office, have arrested and charged him for kidnapping, attempted murder and extortion of a businessman where a ransom of 35 million was demanded. So to elaborate further on this one, the only thing here, I believe I was complying with the sort of proactive policing, because when you look at the statement of Mr. Nangi, the address, it shows midstream Centurion. And I am aware that Mr. Matlala is staying in midstream Centurion. Here I was saying to the brother, be careful, because there is a person of this character in your vicinity whom we have charged with regard to these charges. Be careful, you, your kids, and your wife, as you are moving around. And eventually, that is what I was doing to him. And if you look into Section 205 of the Constitution, it says the SAPS is responsible to prevent, combat, and investigate crime. One of the things there. The others is the issue of the security of the country and so forth, that line. And then when you look into the strategies of the police, we are required to do proactive policing sometimes to prevent possible crimes that might happen because of this character of this person. So I was just proactively warning him, be careful.
We will return to this, but for now...
I know you will return. I just want to clarify.
Sure, I have a clarification as well, but go first, Commissioner.
So I just want to understand, I think earlier on you spoke about you generally discuss current affairs. So I just want to understand which parts are current affairs and which parts are proactive policing.
Look, this was also a current affairs on the media. However, this one had an additional thing that I was trying to warn him about, a person of this character that we have addressed in relation to kidnapping of ransom. It was on the news, we did share, it's also part and parcel of current affairs, Commissioners. However, to a further extent, I was just highlighting this, that be careful. It's like, if I know where the commissioner is staying, there is a character, and then we are close, we are friends, I will warn them, look at this complex of yours. They are jamming the cars this way. Be careful when you go there. When you lock the car, make sure you test the car is locked before you go into that. That is the idea. That is what is happening here.
Thank you. Yes, Ms.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Yes, so this is what you do, is you warn people. I mean, this is, I think the example you just gave to Commissioner Beloy is also different. You might say, be careful because this type of crime is happening in your area. But what you did here was you gave Mr. Matlala details of the alleged crimes and what Mr. Nangi was being investigated for.
No.
Isn't that so?
No. You see, when you look at the document that you gave us, Commissioners, I saw an affidavit of Nangi and the address. He was the subject of investigation, and he is still. The head office has taken over that investigation of the kidnapping. Now, what is happening is that when I picked up that, I just sent it to him, and these people, I believe that somebody might have put this thing on the public domain, because you'll see there was also high court papers that they wanted to sue the police and everything are there. So it's not the things that are within my office or whatever. It's things that were there in the public domain. I just sent the thing there.
So, but you say it was to warn him because
Yes.
this individual had been arrested for very serious.
And he was out
Crimes.
by then, yes.
And yes, by now he's out. But when you only forwarded this to him on the 10th of March,
Yeah.
after he was released.
He was released.
But when was he? But you knew about this before the 10th of
Which
March. This particular individual and the investigation into this individual
I knew.
and the arrest of this individual.
I knew about the arrest. I knew about the case when it was withdrawn in court in January. But, the address of him, I was not aware of his address. I picked it up when I was reading that article. Then I said, by the way, then I sent it.
And that's when you then sent the information to Mr. Matlala to say,
because it was there.
here's the affidavit.
Yeah, it was there on the public domain. That's why I sent it. I must tell the commissioners that I will never take information of the police that is in custody of the police and share it with any other person. I will never do that. It is not correct to do that, and I will never do that. When I took office, I signed an oath. I will never do that. When I joined the police, I signed an oath. I will never do that. I've never done it. It's not going to happen, and it will never happen up until, even if I die, I'm able to do it in the grave. It will never happen.
But you did share this with Mr.
This
Matlala.
one, I shared it because it
Because
was
it was
in
already,
the public domain.
because there was a media article already.
Yes, thank you. It was
you-
there
okay.
on the media.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I understand. So we will come back to this. I just want to make sure we get your.
No, I provided
Sorry,
the answers.
Can we just clarify what was shared exactly? Was it the newspaper article or the affidavit attached? I'm just not clear what General shared with Mr. Matlala. If you can just clarify that.
Commissioner, that document was a bit big. I sent it through it is a newspaper. I think it is an article that was there. I think these people presented it somewhere, and then it was leaked into the media. When you open it, you'll see an affidavit and everything. I just sent it, just to sensitize this one. And further to that, there is another one to show that it's them who leaked this thing on the news. The other person who was arrested with them, he went and he was interviewed in Mpumalanga through a local, radio station there. And his statement, he also published it there. One of the accused persons on this thing. So these things, they were published by them there. I just forwarded it. I didn't take it. When you look also at the case number that is depicted there, there is a date stamp of the police. There is a case number that is depicted there. And then when I look at the date stamp, it talks about Bedford View, something like that. So you saw that. Now, if you saw that, it's good. Bedford View is where? There's no Bedford View in KwaZulu-Natal. Bedford View is here in Gauteng. This General Senona does not have access in those cases in order for him to leak information as it is alleged here. I do not have access. My profile on the access of the cases is limited to KwaZulu-Natal.
The annexure, Commissioner Khumalo, is in Exhibit Bundle File 1 at page 65, and it's about 220 pages long.
And also, I believe that if you look at the document, there were people like General Kwanazi, let me rather not mention a lot of names. There were police officials there, I think 5 of them, if not 4, who are listed in the High Court applications, and all those things were attached there. So someone, somewhere, somehow might have leaked this thing that we came into to see, and then I did send that thing. I must tell you that there is a High Court applications against the police by these individuals. There is a civil case that is underway as we speak here. And then I'm just worried, commissioners, that I don't want to elaborate too much on these things. But I am not listed on the issue of the civil claim of these things. Other people are listed there. Thank you, commissioners.
We will return to this, but is there anything else you want to say about, from your perspective, about this particular incident, this investigation?
Which investigation?
Against this individual, your paragraph 74 and 75.
I said head office, DPCI, took over the investigation. After, it was in March. They took the entire case dockets and everything. So they are continuing with the investigation with an understanding that they want to place it back on the court roll because it was withdrawn due to certain technicalities.
You don't wish to expand on that?
Please.
This was an investigation that was under your command, isn't that so?
As the provincial head, yes.
Okay.
And you know the organigram of the Hawks at the province is a general. General does not necessarily read dockets. It's a strategic position, if I may say so. But it is. And then you have brigadiers. I have 5 brigadiers under me, and then 1 colonel. 1 brigadier deals with serious organized crime, another one serious commercial, another one serious corruption, another one priority crime specialized investigation, and then another one is corporate support services, and then a colonel who's dealing with priority crime management center. So these people, they are responsible to deal with operations at the unit level where we have colonels who are leading the units. And under the colonels, you have lieutenant colonels who are team leaders who are supposed to give instructions and give guidance into these dockets. So, Mina, I sit at the strategic position. Thank you, commissioners.
This was an operation under your command, yes?
It was, the investigations was within my office, but component, serious organized crime.
Yes, but it's under your, you've already said that. So we'll come back to it. I just wanted to give you an opportunity yourself if you wish to say something more. You can continue.
Question 8. Messages to Mr. Matlala dated 24 April 2025, Ray Khumalo. This conversation between Lieutenant General Khumalo and I took place as I was facilitating a meeting between him and a third party concerning matters under his division. Lieutenant General Khumalo can attest to this if he's called to come here.
So the screenshot was erroneously or sent to the third party as evidence to facilitating the meeting. It was intended to be sent to the third party because the third party was concerned that when am I taking him or her to that office in order to lodge his complaint. Now, this screenshot was erroneously sent to Matlala, and I proceeded to call him at 10:30 after I sent this to say, Mr. Matlala, that thing was sent back to you by mistake. So please don't entertain or consider it. I did that. But here, this is a critical information that this third party was supposed to give to Lieutenant General Kumalo, and it involves his office. So it is not within my area of responsibility. So I took this person, this third party there, and the third party was interviewed by General Kumalo, and then I left it. I never even inquired about any progress because it was within his space of responsibility. The next one is question 9, contact details of Mr. Tyler, 14 May 2025. Yeah, indeed, Mr. Matlala requested me the telephone number of the former minister, General Tyler. It is a common practice that he was having the contact details of General Tyler. He told me, I don't know what happened to my phone, I don't have this number. Innocently, I sent it. I didn't even ask questions because I knew they were talking. I knew he was talking to the minister. So I sent it, and then I didn't see anything wrong in that. And I didn't ask why, what are the reasons you are looking for these contact details. I think now I want to go to question 10, the Potchefstroom drug theft. Commissioners, on the 22 of June 2021, a captain from Crime Intelligence, Border Security, contacted our offices in Durban regarding a drug-related information. The information related to the alleged transshipment of suspected cocaine with a container at the Isipingo depot. Isipingo is not far from the harbor. It's just a short distance. Information was often exigency nature, and members of my office together with ORS is the border policing that are posted there at the harbor. They proceeded to the depot to inspect the container. Warehouse security staff were also present for the inspections. Upon inspections, the team discovered 27 canvas bags were found within the container. Each bag contained around 20 bricks of cocaine, each brick weighing 1 kilogram. The bricks of cocaine were wrapped in a black and yellow plastic detonating the TikTok and Jaguar logos. The total mass of the bricks amounted to 541 kilograms and a street value of 200 million. The DPCI members proceeded to Spingo police station to book and store the exhibits of cocaine. They were informed that there was no storage space for the housing of these exhibits. DPCI would have to search the alternative storage space. However, the exhibits could be booked into the SAP 13 register at Isipingo, SAPS, and they signed them off because the SAP 13 clerk wouldn't want to take them as a result of the storage. In the search of the storage, the team responsible for the seize of the drugs, they contacted the Amanzimtoti Forensic Service Laboratory. In bracket, I put the Meta Post seize fell under the Detective and Division Forensic Service Division. So Colonel Kuzwayo from the section head of chemistry at the Forensic Laboratory refused to accept the exhibits as they had no storage space for them. One of the reasons that she gave is that place was flooded previously, and then they said they don't have a storage facility to store these drugs. Normally, these drugs will be stored at the Forensic Science Laboratory. Then I was advised by a brigadier in my office who is responsible for this type of investigations that there was a secure storage facility at our offices in Potchefstroom, offices with a strong room walk-in safe. Safes such as this are difficult to break into and are ideal for the storage of this type of seizures if we have this kind of challenges. I then recalled that the Potchefstroom offices had previously and safely stored a large quantity of mandrax and hashish compressed dagga. I have attached an article on the mandrax bust as Annexure S6. Due to the above, I agreed that the exhibits to be stored at the Potchefstroom offices, and then I have informed my supervisor at that stage, Lieutenant General Lesetja, about the incident and the storage. Lieutenant Colonel Preslow, the unit commander of that office, the acting actually, arranged for the exhibit to be stored in the strong room, walk-in safe, aside from the unit commander. Only Captain Leroux and Warrant Officer Van Lockenbeck and another one, Warrant Officer Pina from that office knew about the nature of the exhibits stored there. I want to go back to, or maybe when I finish at the end, I will talk to that S6. If you look at the S6, commissioners, you see there are people on that picture. I do not want you to call their names. Please allow me. And then if you zoom that picture there at the back, you see who's there. This drug bust took place in I think it's July 2018, and the value of this drug bust was 254 million, 54 million over the one that was stolen there at our offices. These drugs were stored in this place. This place is the same place where this 541 kg was stolen into. This is the storage facility. When you look at this faces, people that are depicted in this picture is senior management. And it happened before my time. But I don't want to talk about the names of the people on the picture, but where they are, where this picture is being taken, is exactly the place where these drugs were stolen. I just want to bring that under the attention of the commissioners, because it is not the first time these drugs are stored there until the investigation is finalized. You know, it is a pity I couldn't find another one for the hashish compressed dust that was also placed here until the investigation was finalized. So, allow me to proceed. I wanted to talk about this. Maybe offline, I'll be able to tell you who is who in this picture. The names, maybe you will know.
General, are you emphasizing this to tell us that that previous event or storage gave you a sense of comfort that there would be nothing the matter, even if you were again to store there?
100%, Commissioner.
Thank you.
General, sorry, the date you wanted to emphasize, if you go to page 102, because the photo is on 101, and then at the top of 102.
Yeah.
I thought the point you wanted to make was this was before your time, and that date is the date that we see in line 3 on page 102. Line 3 on page 102. Do you see the top of the page?
Yeah, there's one name that is short here.
And then there's a date there. I thought you wanted to emphasize the date and to say this was before your time.
It was before my time. I indicated it was July 2018.
Yes.
Yes, Commissioner. So these names that are appearing there, there's one name short. I'm not. Please allow me not to mention it. But you can see, if you look deeper there at the back on the picture.
Sorry, Major General, why don't you want to mention the name? This is a media article, it's available on the news, so I'm just
the
interested
media
to know what
article,
your...
Commissioners, does not talk about this other name that I don't want to mention. But if I'm compelled, I believe also I'll be protected if I'm going to mention that name, because the Commission, we must assist the Commission, and the Commission must also be able to protect us.
You are not suggesting that there was anything improper about this, are you? I mean, this was the storage of drugs, and the picture concerned the fact that drugs had been found, and the people depicted there were there because of the drug bust. Is that not so? Nothing improper about it. So I guess Ms. Hasim's point is, what's your problem with mentioning the names, or what's your issue?
Okay, if I'm requested to mention names, if the commissioners are saying so, I will gladly do so.
It's more wanting to understand why you do not want to mention them, especially if you accept that the context of just sketched is correct. Do you accept that the context is correct?
It's correct, Commissioners.
Then
allow me to mention names.
All right, thank you.
The people on the picture, 101, you'll see on your far right is General Sithole, the then National Commissioner of Police. Next to General Sithole is the Minister of Police, General Tele. Next to General Tele is the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, Lieutenant General Kwanas. Next to him is Lieutenant General Lesetja, the retired head of the Hawks. This one who's putting a mask over him, I can't determine who is this person.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I mean, this is a good news story, isn't it?
Of course.
Okay, thanks.
Of course. Commissioners, all access to the floors where the working safe was situated was granted only to cleaners, administrative personnel, and members of the DPCI working at the offices. All the safe keys were given to me with the main key. Look, those type of safes, they have a key and a spare key. For the purpose of safety, I took it upon myself to take these keys. I'm having a safe at my office that not one person will be able to remove it on his or her own. And then I kept those keys locked under that safe. And I also, during that person, I also informed DPCI personnel when I took up office, and also on that day. When I took up office, you will visit all the offices, commissioners. And when you visit all the offices, you will also give your vision. What is it that you want to see, and what is it that people must do? Among others, I verbally gave this tasking that offices must be visited between 1800 hours and 12 o'clock midnight. And then another person must visit 2 o'clock in the morning until between 2 and 4. Our members, they will be placed on standby. We sign a garaging authority to take the state vehicles to their premises. This is the practice that I was doing while I was the unit commander here in Pretoria, so that If there is anything that threatens the safety of our offices and the dockets that we are carrying and so forth, we need to detect it at an early stage. We can't say it will never happen, but we need to detect it at an early stage. And then after doing that visit, an OB entry to that effect, it needs to be done, must be done. On the 23rd of June, between 800 hours and 1500 hours, as well as 24th of June 2021, between 0857 and 1410, the investigating officer who was assigned to investigate this drug bust came to my office and he signed for one key and then of the safe where the drugs were stolen. The proof of the aforesaid is attached here to and marked annexure S7. So the purpose of me keeping the case I've already explained.
Sorry, before you go to that, you said he took out one key, but in your statement you say booked out the safe keys.
Is a typing error.
So that's incorrect. You want to change that?
Is a typing error.
So you would like to change that?
Key, because the other one was left with me.
Okay.
So they were going there to take some samples, because during the bust, the forensic science laboratory told us, and I know it's a fact, they don't go out to this drug bust. They come out if there is a clandestine laboratory where the lab is active. Whether a person is arrested or not, they come themselves there, they process the crime scene, they wear their regalia there, they will take samples. But with this one, they didn't. They say, we're not coming, you must bring the samples to us for analysis. The purpose of the IO to get the case, it was to go there and get those samples and ensure that these things are properly sealed in the seal bags and everything, because I think when they went to store these things, it was late in the afternoon. So I want to talk to the theft, the actual theft. After hours on the Sunday, 7 November, at about 10 o'clock, we have a captain there who visited the office and is working there to collect some documents. And then he said he noticed a strange electric smell, as if within the building. He proceeded to check the top offices, according to him. And he found everything to be
What does electricity smell like?
Smell like electric smell. You see, when the cables are coming into negative and positive, they meet. They will cause a fire, some sort of spark, a fire, and then that kind of a smell. That's my understanding, Commissioner.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So, and then he left, and then he said he thought the smell was as a result of a load shedding that was there. And then around 11 he left. 1400 hours, another member came, and he did not smell anything according to him. He proceeded to the office, and then without checking the bottom section, and then he left. On Monday, the 8th of November 2021, at 0600 hours, the unit commander arrived, and he went into his offices. His offices is on the top, these safes are on the bottom. So when you go to his office, there's no way from there to go to his office. You go from outside, and then he will enter from that side. There are stairs that are going higher up. And then he said he found this strange, as all offices' lights are to be switched off, and then that time the lights were on. And then he said on the same date, there was a warrant officer whose office was broken into, and then he established that his office has been broken into. And the warrant officer reported this to the Lieutenant Colonel, who was the acting unit commander. Lieutenant Colonel proceeded to inspect all the offices within the building and found that the Hawkins safe has been broken into. Not only had it been broken into, but the seized cocaine stored therein was stolen. The theft was reported to me, and I in turn reported it to the national head of the Directorate, as well as the provincial commissioner and the provincial head of crime intelligence. Then immediately I proceeded to the crime scene, commissioners. Upon my arrival, I observed that the perpetrators gained entry into the offices by means of a hardware next door.
Hardware store.
Hardware store. Our offices next door. It was a hardware store. It is changed now. It's offices of another department. But this side, it was a hardware store. It was closed and everything. So
the hardware store had an entrance into your office?
No.
How you say they gained entry into the offices?
I'm about to explain that.
By means of a hardware store next door.
Through the hardware store, if I can rephrase that, by means through the hardware store. I want to now explain my observations in full. Maybe if I may be allowed to do that, then I can respond to clarity city questions. Commissioners, upon my arrival, this is my observation. I'm going to outline it in full, although some of the things you won't see them here. When I arrived, I realized that when you're parking in front of the office, the hardware is on your left. The chain and the lock of the hardware was broken. And then after that, we realized that the perpetrators...
What chain is this?
Is a chain that they utilize to
lock the door.
lock the gate. Just
Gate,
yeah,
not
the
door,
main
gate.
gate.
All right.
Yeah, it is a thick, chain that was cut open, and so it is the lock. Then, from my observation, I could see that the perpetrators of this crime entered, they went there, inside the hardware. From the hardware, from the gate is about maybe 50, 60 meters, I don't have the exact meters, and then
To the actual building.
inside the hardware yard. And then there's a fence, a wall and a fence, and then they jumped through that fence. You see, the fence is like here, and then our offices are here, the hardware is this side. So they came inside here, they jumped over here and break a window here.
Is the window, is that the storage facilities window?
No.
Hardware window?
Is our office's window, an office that is occupied by one of our warrant officers.
Okay. All right.
And in that office, there was a desktop and some other valuables of his and the police staff and cases. They broke that window, and then if my memory serves me well, I think they were butlers. They bent them, and then they came into his office. In his office, door was locked. Then they broke the office door. When you go out of the office door, just 2-3 steps on your left, there's a door, and that door lead you, is a passage if you go inside there, where there is this, I think it's 2 strong rooms, these safes. We normally call them strong rooms. And that type of a strong room, the thickness of the door is about 20 milliliter, like this.
Millimeters.
Millimeter. Thank you, Commissioner. The thickness is like this. It's very thick. So I have observed and established that here, the people who came here have a specialized skills. They specialized in cutting open the safes, because if we talk about the issue of the load shedding and everything, they had ample time. And
Just please hold your thought. You are at the point where you are talking about the people being specialized. I just want to take you back 2 or 3 steps. What would have necessitated going through the premises of the hardware store? Why would the people not have just gone through your own offices in Portchester?
Commissioner, I don't know why have they decided to come this side, but later we established that there was at the front door on the ground, there was some sort of a frittling. That door is a magnetic door, and then I think it also have a lock where you must also use a key to open it. So we established that there was a frittle. It was a bit frittled, but they decided not to cut it open and everything. Instead,
I guess what I'm trying to understand, I know perhaps it changes nothing. What I want to understand is why not go over your wall and then to Officer Pinar's window or wherever else to gain access? Why the hardware premises?
I believe they wanted to, because after they broke that gate, the chain of the gate,
Yes.
they pushed it. It was pushed almost half open. Just a smaller space was left, and it is a street here.
Okay.
It's a street here. If you break here in front, any person who will pass there will be able to pick you up. That is, something is not right here. So if you go inside there, I'm afraid to use these words, they wanted to also be not to be seen quickly.
Okay. Please go back to where you were. These people had highly specialized skills.
Yeah,
yes.
because it's not an ordinary person who will come and know that I'm cutting the safe here and then I'll be able to open it. That's my observation. And further to that, the way this thing happened, I also came to a conclusion that it was not 2 or 3 people, it's a group of people. Because 541 kilograms of cocaine, 5 people will never take everything and go away. And they must have a proper transport to transport these things. And then I believe they might have also have people who were guards. And from there, after they broke, they opened, they threw those things. When I approached the passage of the safe, there were a lot of black powdery substance on the floor. A lot of that. And then you could see that the bags, the exhibit police bags that these drugs were packed into, some of them we saw, I think, 2 or 3 from that window where they came in, which shows that these people, not one person came in, several of them who came in through that window, because any other place was never broken into. They took these drugs and exited where they've entered. Then when I observed with my naked eye, I couldn't see any footprints or palm prints on the entrance where it was broken. So, commissioners, one cannot do away with the fact that these people who came to steal these drugs, my heart is still bleeding. Now it's bleeding, it's pumping. My adrenaline is starting to change because this thing happened under my watch and it will never be erased in my mind. It is an indictment on its own. So what happened there, someone who knows that place and who knew these things were there sold us out. And then it is my plea and prayer that the investigation team be successful to arrest this perpetrator so that they can come and tell us who gave them the information and how and why did they do this, what happened to these drugs. As I'm processing the crime scene, the crime scene management came from the province to come and process the crime scene. They process, they obtain a photograph, and they do fingerprints and everything. Then I said, we are the complainants, commissioners. We can't be complainants and investigate. That the district in that area must assist us with an investigator. We will assist to try and get things. I tasked my people to look into the cameras around the vicinity and everything, and to start to do those things. And then I brought sometimes there are certain strategies I wouldn't want to make them public. Some people in our country will know, oh, this is what they are doing, then they will avert. So I don't know if I'm worried to just expose our strategies. Please bear with me. I will just be vague, but if needed be, I will come and explain properly. So we did everything there. There's something called cell phone dumping. I'm not going to explain it. We did that. I brought the people, and then I took my people to go there. We have people that are dealing with this thing of footages. I'm just worried to use the exact name that we talk about when we talk about these things. But while we were busy with that, what I did, I wrote a letter. I think my letter is, let's check, as what? Yeah, it will be S9 and S10. A docket was opened, it was investigated by the district office, and then I gave a team to assist with the investigation. While we were busy with that, I wrote a letter in compliance with the provision of the Act to subject all the personnel at the Potchefstroom offices to polygraph tests, as well as all the people who were involved in the seizing of these drugs, as well as those who assisted, because you can't just transport cocaine with only 4 or 3 people. You must have a contingent of people, because what if you are attacked? Because it happened a lot that I pay from my office after these other seizures that I talked about earlier, pay from my office to get the combat teams to transport the drugs to Pretoria. Now, while I was doing that, the national head of the Directorate, he approved the subjection of these members to polygraph tests. Maybe one might say, why is your name not there? I can't do it, Commissioner.
I actually wanted to ask why did you not offer to also be subjected to the polygraph?
No, the Act doesn't say I must offer. It must be the national head who, my supervisor must subject me to that. It is not a common cause to subject yourself.
The point of the matter is you wanted all the people that were aware of the storage of the drugs to be subjected to a polygraph test.
Yes,
you did not need to have the head to subject you to it, so you could have offered for that to be done for transparency, so that these officers know that he himself has also subjected himself to it. Why did you not do it?
I hear you, Commissioner. It never crossed my mind that I must also include myself. In my mind is that if I have to do that, my boss will do it, will instruct me, because even myself, I don't have the authority to do that. I apply, he approves according to the Act. So,
thank you, please continue.
Thank you, Commissioner. Even if when you see my SC10 is, I think, an additional letter of some people that were supposed to go through that, polygraph test in relation to that. And you will see there was a, okay, SC10. And then when you look at S11, a team was established by national office. There is a name list there of the team that was established. One member was from my office who was placed there. But what I saw at the later stage, the member was no more working with the team. The reasons why, I don't know, because I thought he was working with the team. This team came up, it was established, the names were sent to me to show that if you want to, I want to talk about it. Allow me to read it. Sorry, Commissioners.
This team, is this, are you referring to 114 of your statement?
124, page 124 on my bundle of documents.
And 114 of your, okay, it's the same team.
Yeah, so you will realize that this team in paragraph 6 of bundle of documents 125, page 125, paragraph 6, it says the members will be required to report, this is an instruction, Commissioners, directly to the component head serious organized crime investigation. There is a name there, on the 1st of December, until the investigation is finalized. The team will draft a detailed investigation plan with timelines which will determine the required time for handling this case. There will be weekly progress meeting to be chaired by the Deputy National Head of the DPCI to monitor the investigations. You'll see also on the name list, also on this paragraph, General Senona was excluded from participating in this investigation. But I want to bring under your attention that in my mind that it never worried me. If they want to start their approach of the investigation, they want to start inwards, outward, because there is that type of methodology. It is okay. It never worried me. Why am I excluded? It was okay. So on the, I think it was, we were here in Pretoria at the Capital Hotel, where I met, I think it's in January, I met with the team, or before January, I think. I want to check the date properly. I briefed on the 29th of November. I briefed the established team and handed over everything that was in my possession. So, commissioners, I want to also add that the results of the polygraph test that I have requested and was approved by the national head, I have never received any results. And since the docket was taken, they took the case docket and investigated it. No reports or no any other thing was provided. I can't even tell what is the current status of the investigation, but this team will be able to say what have they found out, what is what and what is what. So eventually, I want to say the inquiry.
Just so that your testimony is consistent with your statement, I believe you were in 116 on page 31.
116, yes, that is the
name of the hotel you gave and the year were different. So can you just confirm that?
It's 2021.
Yes, then it was Menlyn Main Hotel and not the one you mentioned in your testimony.
What have I said?
Capital Hotel?
The hotel here is Capital Hotel.
Which one?
It's in Menlyn Main,
yes.
Capital Hotel. Maybe
That's the name of the hotel.
Yeah, I omitted to say Capital Hotel.
Okay.
We were having interactions with the foreign law enforcement there.
And the year we have it correct is 2021.
2021. Thank you very much for the assistance. And the inquiry reference number, that of the Caesar, they also took it, this team that was established by national office. So in relation to the investigation and progress thereof, I do not have anything to say further because I was not privy to those briefings and nobody briefed me. Commissioners, in conclusion, I want to say...
Sorry, General, before you go to your topic of conclusion, just so that it's not lost on me, the import of this evidence about the drug bust and the exhibits being lost, you've discussed it in quite detail in your statement. It's nearly 10 pages, and noticeably, it is the longest discussion you have in your statement, in your written statement, compared to the other topics.
Yes.
Why are you telling us this? Is it of what relevance, and what do you want us to keep in mind as you testify, if anything, as you testify and as we hear other witnesses? Because it's not obvious to me. I ask precisely because it's not obvious to me why you're telling us about
the theft.
About the drug bust and the theft, yes.
Commissioners, in the subpoena, this topic was there. That is why I'm responding. I'm telling the commissioners about these things. I don't know what is the relevance of this, but on the subpoena, it was listed there.
You've answered me. Thank you, General.
Yes.
You don't need to say
Now,
more. Thank you.
I also want to say that the issue of the storage there, bring under your attention that in relation to the storage there, I think there is a national instruction that says the DPCI, with the approval of the head, can store these things, can store the exhibits at a facility that is a South African SANS, I think it's SANS, South African National Standards. When you look at the safe, it comprises of those standards, those requirements. It's a strong room. Even the walls, it's going to take you a person too long to break those walls and get into that. And what one has done, commissioners, it was done bona fide. In my conclusion, I want to...
Sorry, I didn't hear that. It was done on a?
Bona fide, in good faith.
Good.
Thank you. I want to say it is of vital importance that we revert to the Rule 3, as the Commission will note that I have not leaked sensitive or confidential or classified information of SAPS to Mr. Matlala. You go back to that letter that it was a bone of contention this morning, Commissioners. When you look at it, although it was a bone of contention, but it is not a classified document. Classification of documents is governed by the MIS document. The MIS document says when you classify a document, the classifications of documents is confidential/restricted. The second one, it will be secret. It shall be written on top and at the bottom. The third one, it will be top secret. But these other things that I'm accused of, that I have leaked sensitive and classified documents to Mr. Matlala. It is not. The things that I've shared with Mr. Matlala, they were in a public domain. There was nothing that I took from my office and gave it to Mr. Matlala to assist him. Most of the documents that seem confidential were in fact sent by Mr. Matlala according to what I've read here. The allegations are false and are devoid of merit. They are merely speculative in nature, Commissioners. Lieutenant General Kumalo and Witness X were hard-pressed to provide evidence that proves such a leakage of information before this commission. Had the above figures conducted their investigation diligently, they would have found that the affidavits by Mr. Nangi had already been leaked in the media. It is a common cause amongst myself and multiple witnesses at the commission that the disbandment letter was leaked to the public on the 1st of January. Utilization of my office, using my position as a provincial head to unduly benefit Mr. Matlala or the Big Five, I never used my position or influence to secure any commercial opportunities for my son through Mr. Matlala. Abuse of power or position as the provincial head of the DPCI to influence benefit of Mr. Matlala or the Big Five, shown an interest and questionable concern in protecting Matlala. Of importance to note is that there is no evidence before the commission to suggest otherwise. The baseless allegations by Witness X, Lieutenant General Kumalo, have caused a significant reputational harm on myself. They have further disrupted command cohesion and introduced unnecessary tensions within the DPCI KZN ranks. They have further caused an equal measure of harm to my son, as the allegations have caused him a significant loss of income. Currently, Commissioners, he is running a scholarship business. And then you sign contract with people, then they come and extend the contract. Some, they just come in a year. He lost a lot of kids. So now there's a problem of him paying his buses, the loans, the high purchase thing. So, Commissioners,
You said scholarship, and I hear you talk about buses.
It's Kumbi.
You mean scholar transport?
Yes, he's there now currently. Because what they do, if this is not working, bringing any income, they venture into a lot of things. So, Commissioners, I think we need to be protected before I conclude. I have been summoned at the head office by my current supervisor. I was provided with a notice of alleged misconduct because of the testimony by Witness X here and Witness C. And further to that, I was provided with a notice of temporary transfer. And this thing happened this past Friday, Commissioners. And that is a problem. We can't be intimidated when we are supposed to come and give evidence here. Because it is a modus operandi. Because it disoriented your mind in order to be testifying here and be to your sound and sober senses. You will realize that although some of the witnesses never testified here, they testified at the ad hoc committee. They were visited just a week or few days before they were testifying. It is my humble prayers to you, Commissioners. We are your witnesses. Although there are allegations against us, we need to be protected here. And then I am of the view that why they never left this thing for me to testify, they can even wait for you to make a determination and deal with me. Or come and give me these things after I have testified. It is something that raised serious concerns to me, Commissioners. Now I must respond this Friday. Why must I not be transferred? And in my considered view, I don't know why must I be transferred. But I have to go and I have to write the representation. So I believe that one is being treated unfair. So I wanted to bring this to your good self, Commissioners. And it is not good. It is seriously not good. It's affecting one's health, or seriously so. And it is also affecting the relations in my own home and my family at large. It is a serious problem. I need to be allowed to come here and testify. If there is any wrongdoing that is found on myself, I must go and answer, must be dealt with. But I must not be intimidated before I come and testify before this commission. Because it's very disturbing. It is very disturbing, Commissioners. And I also, in conclusion, want to say, I want to thank your good selves for giving me the opportunity to come here and give you my side of the story and my side of the knowledge that I'm having with these allegations and everything. And these allegations are frivolous and baseless. Commissioners, I thank you.
Thank you, General, but we are not done. As you are probably aware, what is to come next is, I don't know what adjective has been used, but the more probing questioning. So that will start after lunch. Thank you. Let us see you after lunch. Let's adjourn until 2 p.m.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I trust that you are well. You made arrangements that I meet this guy, Kate, because he's your friend and brother. And he needed my help to speak to Lieutenant General Kua to place orders of his contract. He volunteered information about the house. What is worse is that after you told me about the discussion between you and him regarding, there's a name there, as I also said, Nengi, I asked you about your relationship with him. I still don't know how the two of you met.
I think it was agreed that this name can be mentioned.
Correct.
So please reread that sentence. One thing I'm not shown because a lot has gone by or gone on. I'm not sure whether this was introduced properly as to what it is exactly, this document or this exhibit. Can we
Yes.
just introduce it properly and then you continue to...
Well, let's start again. So the
Yes.
witness had referred to it earlier in his
Yes,
evidence
yeah.
and
The thing is,
attached
now
it.
that we are here, let's
Let's just refresh our memories.
Please, yes.
And in fact, Commissioner Khumalo had asked, where on the face of this document do we see the actual date, and it isn't on the face of the document. So, Major General, can you just begin by describing what this is, S4, when you received it, who sent it to you?
Can I suggest Advocate Hassim that he reads paragraph 65 of his statement and then give that context that you had in mind?
So repeat his earlier, so that's fine with me.
65, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissioners. Consequent to the meeting above, on the 26th November 2025, I received a series of threatening WhatsApp messages from Lieutenant General Kwanazi. The charts are attached here to as per Annexure S4. Can I continue, Commissioner?
Yes.
Hi, General. I trust you are well. You made arrangement that I meet this guy, Ket, because he is your friend, brother, and he needed my help to speak to General Kua to place orders off his contract.
On his contract.
On his contract. Thank you. He volunteered an information about the house. I think that I will read as it is. What is worse is that after you told me about the discussion between you and him regarding Nangi, I asked you about your relationship with him. I still don't know how the two of you met to discuss about Nangi care. Besides voice recordings, cellular phone triangulation, and my vehicle tracker, including access footage, will confirm the date and time of our meeting, and for his own sake, I hope that those timelines are in line with what he said before the committee in relation to his arrest. This is the man who says he met you 7 years ago, which is contradicting to what you told me that you grew up together. The fact that he's the one who introduced our meeting to the ad hoc committee and lied under oath, he invited me to make public the information that he gave me, which will put his life at risk. I'm still going to that committee. I hope he doesn't mind me exposing him to both Mr. So-and-so and Mr. So-and-so. I hope you won't blame me for risking his life because I have to tell the truth about our meeting. If he thinks he can fool the committee, it's okay, but I will not say much but to simply play a recording of our meeting verbatim because I have the record. This one of what is worse, I think, is a repetition. Must I read it, Commissioners, on page 92? The first paragraph.
The first paragraph, I think you may have put this in the wrong order.
Yeah.
These messages.
Yeah, there is that.
Can I confirm that this was one message that you received?
Yeah, look, the messages, they came like this, spontaneously, one after another. It's not a one straight off message. It's like you send a message after some seconds or a minute, another one comes after some few time, another one comes. It's not one message that was typed once off.
Do you have it on your phone?
Yeah, yes.
Would you prefer to read it off your phone exactly as it came to you?
On my phone as it came.
Yes.
It was there, it's deleted. There is this thing that was activated, delete messages over 24 hours from the phone of the general.
Okay, so you don't have it anymore.
So this is what we did screenshots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask then that you continue to read it, but don't read the duplicated paragraphs?
Okay, thank you. He volunteered an information.
Ms. Hassan, General, if you, Ms. Hassan,
Yes.
if you look at page 92, it is a repeat of it seems to be a repeat of what should have been on the first page. So the first paragraph in page 89 is the same as the first paragraph in page 92. Are you there, General?
Correct.
So page 89, and then look at 92. And then the second paragraph in 89, which reads, he volunteered an information about a house, and then it stops there, it cuts. If you go to 92, it looks like that is the complete paragraph.
Correct, Commissioner.
And then you've got the third paragraph, which we don't see. So the order, yeah, Ms.
So,
Hassan, if you
can I
just
propose
keep that in mind.
a way forward?
Yeah.
Leave 89, I think. That's because there's a duplication. Can you read from, yes, you made arrangements, I meet this guy. So page 92, can you read that whole page? And after that, you'll see on page 91, if you flip the page back, okay, you'll see that it starts So the last paragraph on 92 starts the fact that, and the first paragraph on 91 starts the fact that, so you can omit that and continue with I am still going to.
Okay, I don't understand what commissioners, where must I exactly read?
Okay, I think you need to begin on page 92. If you follow the order,
Yes.
right, if you put these side by side, I think you filed it incorrectly in the wrong order, the pages. So if you start on page 92.
I must start on page 92.
Yes, because it's the beginning of the message. You see on page 89 it says, Hi General, I trust you well. You made arrangements that I meet this guy Cat.
Page?
89?
Oh.
You see how it reads? Hi General, I trust you all well. You
Yes.
made arrangements. Okay. Now go to 92.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay. And you see it begins with you made arrangements that I meet this guy
Yes.
Cat. Okay. So, but in 89 it cuts off at the bottom, whereas it doesn't cut off on page 92.
Yes.
Right. So if you read the whole of page 92 to begin with.
So if I read you well, is that in page 89 at the bottom, is that with he volunteered? And then on page 92.
Sorry, Ms. Hassim, General, may I make a suggestion? May I suggest that we skip this? And then that an attempt, unless it's very crucial for where you start with your questions.
No,
if
no.
it is not, let's perhaps skip it and then try to see, Ms. Mafisa,
Sorry.
if this cannot be arranged in a manner that flows.
Chairperson, we do actually have the screenshots in the correct order. So perhaps maybe my attorney can just give Major General Senona, just show Major General Senona the screenshots, and then he can read it in the order as it had appeared on WhatsApp. Is that okay with the commissioners?
That's in order.
Thank you.
That's in order. You have it now, General.
I have it, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. You made arrangements that I meet this guy, Cat, because he is your friend and brother, and he needed my help to speak to Lieutenant General Kua to place orders of his contract. He volunteered an information about a house address in Santin where Mr. So-and-so collect money using the state vehicle, and that he paid 2 million towards Mr. So-and-so's purchase of his plot. He also told me about Mr. So-and-so townhouse.
Sorry to interrupt you. But we hadn't agreed that this name would be redacted in this paragraph. The explanation provided to me for redacting it from the other paragraph is because of the connection to the second name.
Yeah.
So we haven't agreed that this name, and I don't see any reason why it should be redacted. It's crucial evidence for this commission.
Any comment, Ms. Mafisa, especially if the reason for redacting it earlier was to avoid making a... But then, once you mention it, then everybody knows that it's the same name that we skipped. So
Correct, Chairperson.
perhaps until we've...
Because I've already explained.
We'll take a short adjournment. But perhaps before that, let me hear what Ms. Mafisa thinks.
Well, Chairperson, I don't know if I can say much because I don't want to give anything away regarding the specific individuals that we do not want to mention. But I think perhaps maybe what I can make clear to the commissioners is the risk to certain people's lives in disclosing these two names in particular. And I would like to also just state that there's a link between these two people. So if we were to mention one person, the other would automatically know that they are being referred to. Perhaps maybe I can illustrate it in this manner, Chairperson. If I were perhaps maybe to report someone and I would say that I'm going to report the person to Commissioner Kumalo and someone else, one would quickly deduce that they might also be reporting to you, Chairperson, or to the other commissioner. The link is, I don't want to give too much away, but the link is there, the relationship is there. And the knowledge that the other would have is, it's too big of a risk for us to take, to mention the names.
May I respond?
Thank you, Ms. Mafisa.
In fact, Chair, this makes it even more important that we consider this carefully, because what Ms. Mafisa has just said is vital evidence for this commission. She's confirmed the connection between those two names, something that is a subject of inquiry in this commission. So that's quite important for us. That's the first thing I want to say. And I would imagine there'd be more to come then, evidence-wise, from this witness to show that link. But apart from that, nothing from the face of this text, if you mention the first name, connects to the second name. I don't think it's the equivalent of referring to a commission of inquiry with a panel of 3, and if you mention one, it's another. I don't think it's analogous to what is here. If you mention the first name and leave out the second, there's no way a link can be made to the second, unless you have knowledge that we don't have. But yeah, there's no objective manner in which one would put these two names together. This first name is linked to many people. It could be anybody.
Commissioners, if I may, I think what my senior has just said is quite relevant as well to the reason why we don't want to mention both of the names. Whether it's one name or both of them, we don't want to mention it is because of the knowledge that we do have. And perhaps maybe we are just taking additional or extra steps just to make sure that we do not have a situation where certain people's lives are at risk. But with the information that we do have, we can confirm that if we were to mention one of these names, the other would know. I can further elaborate, Commissioners. Perhaps maybe I can just come closer to you. And I'll be
Perhaps,
able
Ms.
to...
Officer, just explain this about the other knowing. Just explain the relevance of it.
Yes. So when you have a look at that particular paragraph, what General Mkhonazi is doing is he's saying that he's going to report. He's going to report to these two individuals, and I think when you look at it from that particular context, that's the most important thing. That I wouldn't say it's a reporting to your principal, but essentially the relationship with the link is somewhat of it would be like reporting to your principal, essentially. So if you...
Maybe let me ask it this way. What's the fear? If that other person does get to know, what's likely to happen? What's that person going to do once they get to know of the mention of the other person? I don't get it exactly.
Sure. All right, Commissioner. So unfortunately, we do know that this person is quite... I must just watch my own words now, but this person is quite dangerous. And so just the mentioning of this particular person's name could put Major General Senona in quite a tight spot, just in terms of his safety. I think perhaps also we're considering, it's Witness D, whose life was unfortunately taken. So we are just a little bit wary of mentioning this particular individual, exposing him in these proceedings. It truly is a security risk.
And if, for the purposes of General Senona's testimony, all he is doing is to read a WhatsApp text, not crafted by him, but a WhatsApp text received from General Mkhonazi, why should that threaten him? Why should that pose a risk to him?
It would definitely threaten him, Chairperson, because I'm sure the relevant people wouldn't have preferred for him to actually even disclose the screenshot. But because he wants to assist the Commission, he disclosed the screenshot. But just for purposes of his safety, we just thought that those two individuals together, they should not be mentioned. So it was to assist the Commission, but I don't think that we must put Major General Senona's life at risk.
We'll adjourn and we'll indicate when we are ready to come back.
Thank you, Chair.
Then Mr. So-and-so. You can rather say Mr. Y.
Whatever you choose, General.
I like so-and-so.
It's fine, it's fine.
Sorry, Chair. I'm confused now because when the General first started reading, I think, can you start from the beginning of the text? Because I think now we've missed a paragraph.
Right from the beginning. It's fine, it's fine. I guess I was avoiding that because it would be the third time now, but it's fine.
But it's an important paragraph which has now been missed.
No, I'm happy, Mr. Singh. Thank you.
Thanks. You start from the beginning of the text. So as I understand it, what you have says, "Hi, General, I trust you are well." That's how it starts. You made arrangements that.
Okay.
Start from there and go all the way to the end.
Thank you, Commissioners. Hi, General. I trust that you are well. You made arrangements that I meet this guy, Kate, because he's your friend and brother, and he needed my help to speak to General Kua to place orders on his contract. He volunteered an information about a house address in Sandton where Sevilla collects money using the state vehicle, and that he paid 2 million towards Sevilla's purchase of his plot. He also told me about Sevilla's townhouse. The fact that he's the one who introduced our meeting at the ad hoc committee and lied under oath, he invited me to make public the information that he gave me, which will put his life at risk. I'm still going to that committee, and I hope he doesn't mind me exposing him to both Sevilla and Mr. Sorenso. I hope you won't blame me for risking his life because I have to tell the truth about our meeting. If he thinks he can fool the committee, it's okay, but I will not say much, but to simply play a recording of our meeting verbatim because I have the record. What is worse is that after you told me about the discussion between you and him regarding Nengi, I asked you about your relationship with him. I still don't know how the two of you met to discuss about Nangike. Besides voice recordings, cellular phones and triangulation and my vehicle tracker, including access footage, will confirm the date and time of our meeting, and for his own sake, I hope that those timelines are in line with what he said before the committee in relation to his arrest. This man says he met you 7 years ago, which is contradicting what you told me that you grew up together. I guess this will become clear as the investigation continues. That concludes the messages, Commissioners.
Thank you, Ms. Hassim. Because we've been going on this way and that on this, I must apologize to you. I thought the bit about the payment of the 2 million and so on, I thought it was still to come. So
Okay.
apologies
No
for
problem.
my confusion in that regard. Yes, yes, Ms. Hassim.
So thank you.
Ms. Hassim, will we get the correct?
Yes, I've requested that. And Mr. Beloy,
Okay, thank you.
no relation to Commissioner Beloy, is that we know of, has undertaken to provide that to the Commission. At the end of this message, Major General, there's a TikTok video. What is the content of that?
I didn't open that. You know, this message is Commissioners. They came as some sort of intimidating to me. What I did, I just screenshot them and sent them to my attorney. Because for me, this was unbecoming. Why must I get these messages? For what? So I sent them to my attorneys that this is the messages I'm getting because I've already contracted them or request their legal assistance with regard to me appearing at the Commission. Whatever comes my way that is talking to the issues of the Commission, I must communicate with them. I must also say that my attorneys wrote a letter requesting the alleged recording in these messages. The letter, there was an acknowledgement of the letter, but the recordings never reached us till today. And these recordings that are said of the meeting, we have not yet received them till this day.
Thanks, but that meeting is the meeting that you were present at, so you know what happened in that meeting.
Come again?
The recording is a recording of a meeting at which you were present, isn't that so?
As I have indicated in my statement, I was present.
Yes. Okay, so I also just need some clarity about whether, so you received this, did you respond to Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi?
I didn't.
You did not reply?
I didn't. I just forwarded this to my attorneys.
And you had no further contact telephonically or otherwise with him?
With who?
With Lieutenant General
The General.
Mkhwanazi, yeah.
No, we never spoke after this.
You spoke at the same time there, just say, with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. I'm just thinking of the transcription. Yeah.
Advise me, Commissioner.
I'm saying you spoke at the same time with Advocate Hassim, and you spoke over her when she was mentioning with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. I just wanted to mention the name because the transcription will not show it if you spoke at the same time.
Yes, with the Lieutenant General. Thank you, Commissioner.
Now, I would like to understand from you why you considered this to be intimidation of you. And I ask you because one interpretation of this is that General Mkhwanazi sent you this to say, and judging from the text, is that you made the arrangements for him to meet Kat Matlala. In that meeting, he volunteered information about General Sibia and others. And now that he is the one that's introduced this meeting, but not given the full story, it means that General Mkhwanazi is going to go to the ad hoc committee and give the full story, and that he's letting you know this. And he's saying to you that when he does so, that may put your friend, Kat Matlala, at risk because it exposes him because he's given information, right, that he's informed on people, right? So I'm putting to you that that's an interpretation of this. Why do you see that as an intimidation of you?
Commissioners, I believe it's the first time the commissioners get to know about this meeting because of this commission get to know about this meeting from me to you. And these messages came to me before I come here. And then when you get this type of messages, you get an insinuating situation that don't talk about this. As you are analyzing, the advocate is analyzing and giving a perspective of her analysis on these commissioners. For me, it came because I'm supposed to go and testify. And then Mr. Matlala spoke about this at the ad hoc committee. And then when you get this type of messages, what does it say to one? That, be careful, don't talk about this. I'm going to that committee. It was never talked about there, And we must remember, commissioners, I took an oath this morning to tell the truth. You said to me, tell the truth, nothing else but the truth. That is the feeling that I've got when I received this thing. And I'm here to come and tell the truth and assist the Commission to deliver its objectives.
But you would agree that there's nothing in the text in where he says to you, do not go and testify about this meeting?
I agree that is not there, but the sense of this message is that I have received it with. It gives me an impression that be careful. So that's the feeling I had when I got this message. That is why immediately thereafter, I sent it to my attorneys. And I've never responded to him because you'll see other messages were deleted by him that he sent to me. And I don't know the content of that. It leaves a lot to be desired for. What was actually in the messages that were deleted by him, not by this, by the general, not by this app of disappearing messages after 24 hours. But the general himself deleted these messages that he sent to me. And I strongly believe that this message also was talking to the same issue because it is after Mr. Matlala has testified at the ad hoc committee. It shaked me. I wish somebody was there to see how I was feeling. But I was rattling when I get these messages.
General, there's a part that I don't understand about what you've just said now. You said your reading of this message is that you must be careful. Careful about what?
That is what came into my mind, Commissioner. That, hey, you be careful. What came into my mind is careful about anything. We are members of the police, and I think as we move on, you will realize that also these things that are happening to me, these letters that I'm getting that I've indicated earlier, after my attorneys have sent this letter and we didn't receive anything, and the general didn't talk about this in this forum, commission, it ignites fear in one. And when you look at this, I was supposed to testify on the 26th. I was here. From here, I went out. My lawyers, we get these things, we sent, they write me a letter and everything. All of a sudden, if I was supposed to be issued with a letter of transfer and everything, it should have happened last year. Now that we wrote a letter, these messages came, I sent them to my attorney, they sent a letter with these attachments to him to give us the recordings. Then I received this thing. You see what is happening now, Commissioners?
Then you received what thing?
I received a notice of temporary transfer and a notice of alleged misconduct regarding the allegations that were made against me before this commission.
And so you're saying that General Nkwazi is behind that letter of transfer?
I've never said that, Commissioners. I'm telling you the events that are unfolding after these things. And that, it gives me a serious problem.
I'll come back to that. Can I, sorry, finish?
It gives me a serious problem that, why? Because I did check with my supervisor that, are you saying everybody who was mentioned at the commission is subjected to what I am subjected to? And the answer was no. It depends from one supervisor to another. Thank you, Commissioners. This thing is making me emotional because I sometimes take it's become personal, not the commission, but what is happening around me. And on a serious note, I don't like it. And I don't want it. And hence, earlier before we break for lunch, I requested for protection from the commission, if they can, so that I must not be subjected to these kind of things. If I have to be subjected, let it happen at the right time or earlier. I must not be ambushed. Thank you, Commissioner.
Major General, when did you receive this letter again? It was
Friday the 20th.
This text, November last year.
26th of November.
2025.
Yeah, the very same date.
Yes.
Sorry
Okay.
for interjecting.
Just answer the question. 26 November 2025.
Correct.
Okay. And the letter of transfer you received this last Friday.
You mean the text, ne? Can I take you back a little bit? You mean, when did I receive the text?
You said you received this message, this text from General Nkwazi,
please.
29 November 2025.
No.
26 November 2025.
Correct.
Right. But you've spent some time speaking to the Commission about your grievance that you received a letter of transfer this past Friday. Is that correct? You received it this Friday past?
Correct. I received the letter of intended transfer on the 23rd of January 2026, as
Right.
well as a notice of misconduct investigation
All
that
right.
is emanating from the Commission in relation to, I'm trying to answer Commissioners, in relation to the evidence of witness C and witness X before this Commission. Those documents, I have them, but I'm just bringing to the attention of the Commission now what is it that I'm subjected to over and above what I'm supposed to come and testify here.
General, sorry, Mr. Singh. General, when you right at the end under your concluding remarks made this same point that you are making about the treatment that's being meted out to you, I agonized over that and asked myself whether I need respond at all to that. And I even whispered to both my colleagues about whether I should say anything. And my inclination was not to say anything. And my co-commissioners also said, independently of each other, that I should not say anything at that stage. Now I have not consulted with them, and they're probably going to be angry with me. But I thought I should just bring to your attention what our terms of reference provide. They provide that we may make referrals in respect of individuals to whatever bodies. That's a power that we have. And it's a power that we do not have to exercise only after a witness has testified. A person may just have been mentioned, and based on the mention, we are entitled to make referrals before that person. And those referrals may be for criminal investigations, or that the people be charged, or that there be disciplinary proceedings against the people, or even for an employer to consider whether to suspend the person. And all of those, in terms of the terms of reference, may happen even before the affected person has testified. So I'm just saying it's something that's open in terms of the terms of reference. And if that may happen in terms of a referral by us, I don't quite see why, if an employer, or if it's a context outside of employment, whoever has the power, I do not see why not they cannot exercise that power, even without the Commission having made a referral. I'm stating that just to say to you, I do not necessarily consider that to be unfair. If there is a basis for it to be done, it does not have to wait until a person has testified. I understand how it may affect you as an individual and how it may cause you to grieve over it. That I understand perfectly. But I just want to disabuse your mind of this idea that it's something that should never ever happen. If it happens in terms of a referral, I do not see why it should not happen even outside of a referral. I thought I should just clear that up. Thank you, General.
Commissioner, I hear and I fully understand. The challenge...
and please, lastly, what I've said has nothing to do with the merits or demerits of the action that's being taken against you by your employer. Thank you.
My only challenge is the manner in which it was done. That is why I'm raising it before you, commissioners. The manner in which it was done and the timing of it. That's where the challenge is. If my supervisor believes I've done anything wrong, by all means. But the question of timing, the first witness testified here, talked about me. Back then, towards the end of September, it should have happened there and there. But why when I'm about to come and testify? The manner in which it was done, not that it is done. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you, General. Yes, Mr. Senona.
Thank you, Commissioner. And on that note, I'll move off where I was, because the Major General seemed to be linking this text message with the letter of transfer and all of that. But I think we've now cleared that up, so I'm not going to go there. I'd rather focus on the content of this exchange, of this message. You say you were rattled when you received it, and you've accepted that nowhere in this message does General Mkhwanazi say to you or warn you, don't go and talk about these things or this meeting. You've accepted that. I mean, to the contrary, he's saying that he's now going to be open about the meeting. Are you not rattled because you discovered that there's a recording of the meeting? Is that not the cause for your feeling shaken by it?
I'm not rattled because of that. I was definitely being disturbed. But my legal team requested that. I'm also looking forward. Let him play it. I'm looking forward because that's why we requested it, so that my attorneys can do the transcripts and assist the commission. I'm looking forward as well. But these messages, they rattled me as a person when you find this type of things. What happened instantly within you, you don't have a control. The adrenaline, when you get this type of things, you don't have control of the adrenaline to say this is what must happen, this is what must not happen. But I did rattle. It's not because of I'm worried about the recording. It doesn't worry me. It will tell the truth, what he said to him and what the other one said, what the general said to him and what Mr. Matlala said to the general. I'm willing, I'm looking forward for those recordings if they do exist.
He also says that you made the arrangements for him to meet Mr. Matlala for the purposes of helping with this contract.
Must I respond?
Yes, please.
I vehemently denied it.
You did not make any arrangements with General Mkhwanazi to meet Mr. Matlala?
I've never made arrangement with General Mkhwanazi to meet for the meeting with Mr. Matlala. The only thing that happened, Mr. Matlala asked me to accompany him there, and then I think he told the former minister that he will be coming with me, and then as a result, I believe that the general knew that I was coming with Mr. Matlala.
So were there any, if we were to look at communications around this time, there was no communication between you and General Mkhwanazi regarding this meeting?
On the date of the meeting?
Or just before the meeting or around the date of the meeting?
I doubt if there is that communication.
You didn't?
Regarding the meeting. Communication between me and General Mkhwanazi mostly is work related. And he is the one who will call me and say, come to my office. Sometimes he'll tell me, I want 1, 2, 3. Come and brief me what exactly is happening here. And then I'll prepare and go to him and give the explanation. If he needs it over the phone, it's urgent, I'll say it over the phone. And mostly we were even talking on WhatsApp calls. It was not this straight calls.
Okay. Chair, this took us out of sequence because the witness wanted to deal with it. We are going to have to come back to it because it deals with a very important issue, which is the meeting of the 15th April. So, General, we will return.
Before you step off, just one very minor question on the text. General, please find on the phone the part that says, this is the man who says he met you 7 years ago. On the phone, the text. The text.
On the phone?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Commissioner. They're still helping me. I'm here, Commissioner.
Oh, so it says, this is the man who says he met you 7 years ago, which is contracting, but I think that's supposed to be contradicting what you told me, that you grew up together. Is it correct that you told General Mkhwanazi that you grew up together? You and Mr. Matlala grew up together?
No, I didn't tell the General that me and Mr. Matlala, we grew up together. We know each other, but we never grew up together.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm now 59 years.
Yes.
7 months. Yes. Tomorrow is the 28th. It's fully 59 years, 7 months. Mr. Matlala, I think he's 48, 49 there. We never grew up together. He's like a younger brother to me, and I'm like the elder brother to me, as I've indicated. When did we meet?
Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Hassim.
Can I, I know you say you will come back to it, but maybe let me just deal with mine. In that same, on your phone, I don't know where you will find it, but there's a paragraph that says, what is worse is that after you told me about the discussion between you and him regarding Nengi, you see that paragraph? In the bundle, it's page 90, if you're looking at the file. Go to page 90.
90.
Oh, there. Mr. Baloyi is giving you the phone.
Okay, Commissioner. Which one?
What is worse, it's a paragraph that starts, what is worse is that after you told me about the discussion between you and Nengi regarding, the discussion between you and him regarding Nengi, I asked you about your relationship with him. I still don't know how the two of you met to discuss what Nengi cared. You see that?
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes. Did you have a discussion with General Mkhwanazi about Mr. Nengi and your discussion with Matlala about Nengi?
I've never had this discussion, but I strongly believe because I was in and out there, they might have talked about, but as for me, I have never told him about any discussion between me and Mr. Matlala regarding Nengi.
Yes.
The only thing that I know I did about Nengi, I only sent that,
that affidavit.
The thing that was on the media.
Okay. So this WhatsApp message has got so far 3 items that you say you did not discuss with General Mkhwanazi. One, or that you're disputing the correctness of. One, you dispute that you made arrangements with General Mkhwanazi that he meets Mr. Matlala. That's one, and you say nothing of sorts happened. And then 2, you dispute that you spoke to General Mkhwanazi about Mr. Nengi. And then 3, you dispute that you told him that you grew up with Mr. Matlala. So there's 3 factual allegations that you're denying. And I understood your evidence earlier in response to Ms. Hassim. I understood you to say you never responded to this WhatsApp message. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yes. Now General Mkhwanazi sends you a WhatsApp that makes what you say are factually incorrect allegations. You've not addressed them. You didn't respond to him to say, but I never arranged a meeting. You don't say, I never told you or I never discussed with you about Nengi, and I never told you that we grew up together, that I know him for 7 years. You don't dispute that to General Mkhwanazi, that's 1. 2, in your statement to us and in your evidence as you sit there, you don't, as you discuss this WhatsApp message, it's quite notable, significantly notable, that you don't say that which he says there is actually a lie. I never arranged that meeting with him. That which he says there, that I told him, or that I discussed Nengi with him, is a lie. And you don't say, I never told him that I grew up with Matlala. I have to say it's a great curiosity that you, at no point until now, when Ms. Hassim and the chairperson ask you questions, and I do, at no point do you correct what you say are factual inaccuracies or lies. So what's your explanation for that?
Commissioner, is a human error, but I'm still under oath. I'm saying it's true. I dispute this. Mr. Matlala originally is Mamelodi in terms of growing up. Me, I'm from Soshangube. There's no way that we'll grow up together.
My point is,
And then-
my point, General, is, I'm not asking you to repeat what you've said to us. My point is that it's a curiosity at the very least that you were sent a message in November 2024 where certain factual allegations about an alleged discussion between you and General Mkhwanazi happened. You don't respond to him. You don't say, but Commissioner, I never had these discussions with you. You don't. You keep quiet. You tell us I didn't respond. You get a further opportunity before us to submit a statement, and you drafted the statement. The evidence leaders had nothing to do with it. You prepare the statement. You attach this WhatsApp message for a different purpose, but you attach this, and you don't say it contains untruths where it says this and that. Third opportunity, you're sitting there, you're testifying. You don't say he sent me this WhatsApp message, and actually it contains inaccuracies. And the explanation that it's human error when you had 3 opportunities to correct what you say are inaccuracies is simply not good enough.
Commissioners, be that as it may, it is a human error. And if I didn't realize that I omitted this, it's a human error. And then I admit I made a human error by not talking about it in my affidavit and talking about it in my evidence in chief. But the question of not responding to him, I decided not to respond to him, but to talk to my attorneys. That one I decided because, there's a culture sometimes in the police. You don't interact with your seniors. It will show sometimes a disrespect and everything. But I thought when I spoken to my attorneys, he sent those things, the letters will start to exchange to say certain things. But this one of not including it in my affidavit and also committing a human error by not mentioning it in evidence in chief, it is indeed a human error. I came here to tell the truth, nothing else the truth, but not to mislead the commission. So bear with me, it's a human error, Commissioner.
Can I just maybe finally, just in fairness to you, tell you what I think it suggests, and then you can comment. But before I do that, your explanation that you were not interacting, you can't, in the police there's a culture. Well, this was not a business meeting. You took your friend to an apartment, according to you, in Madlanga, Pearls, to meet with General Mkhwanazi to help him solve his personal problem, which has nothing to do with policing business. So let's not do that and say this was a business meeting and therefore I couldn't talk to my superior after he sent me this. You were using your position here and your proximity to Mr. Matlala to assist him to get a commissioner, a provincial commissioner, in fact, you say you were giving him support. So you were using your position to give support to him. It has nothing to do with your duties as head of the Hawks. I want to suggest that to you. That's one. And then two, I think, and this is the important part for me, I want to suggest to you that you did not correct what you say are factual inaccuracies or untruths, in fact, in the statement, because, in fact, they're true. That's what happened. You arranged the meeting, so that's why you don't correct it. On 3 occasions, you have 3 opportunities. You don't correct that. 2, the Nengi discussion. You have 3 opportunities to say to him, I never discussed, and to say to the commission, I never discussed with him Nengi, any discussions about Nengi and Matlala. You have 3 opportunities. You don't correct it. And the same with, you never told him that you grew up with Mr. Matlala. You have 3 opportunities to do that. And my suggestion to you is you don't correct it because it is true. It's what happened. In your discussion in that meeting with General Mkhwanazi, all of that happened. Do you have any comment to it?
Commissioner, I stick to my comments and the recordings, if they come, they will prevail. The truth shall prevail.
Thank you, General.
From me, General. When General Mkhwanazi wrote this WhatsApp to you, he made it clear to you that he will be going to that committee, meaning he will be going to the ad hoc committee. So you must have known, reading this WhatsApp, that General Mkhwanazi intends to go to the ad hoc committee to say these things. So my question to you is, did you, in your instructions to the attorneys, instruct them to tell General Mkhwanazi that what is contained in this WhatsApp is not true? And if he were to repeat its contents to the ad hoc committee, he would be lying to the ad hoc committee.
When I discussed this matter with my attorneys, I told them that I confirmed the issue of the meeting, that I was in attendance. I informed my attorneys that, for me, I've never arranged this meeting. Number 3, in that when he says he's going to play it there, the legal advice was that, no, we will also request the recordings, of which it makes me very happy and comfortable. And then what was the other part of the question, Commissioner.
The simple point is that you did not say to your attorneys, when you write to General Mkhwanazi, tell him that the content of his WhatsApp is incorrect. What he says in the WhatsApp is simply not true.
I didn't dictate or gave that instruction to them how to write that letter to him, Commissioner. So that is what happened.
I will leave it there for now.
Thank you.
The commissioners have opened up the area of questioning I was going to go to, and I think we should probably just continue on this topic instead of leaving it now.
I do apologize.
Coming back later. They are ungovernable, these commissioners. I think that, Major General, that there's more that you are withholding from the Commission. And I say this because if you look at paragraph 64 of your statement, let me know when you're there. You're there?
Yes.
Okay, you say, actually, let me start from the very beginning of that 64. You say you were not privy to all that was discussed as you were moving between the living area and the kitchen, okay? And then you say, this is what you know, 1, 2, 3. These are the topics that you know were discussed in the meeting. The first is that General Mkhwanazi agreed to assist Mr. Matlala to get purchase orders. The second is that General Mkhwanazi spoke on General Nkua's alleged corruption and the rumors of her owning properties beyond her affordability. And the third, so this is the sum total of what happened in the meeting according to you, is that General Mkhwanazi offered to hold or pause investigations against Mr. Matlala for the alleged attempted murder in exchange for information on General Sabia. In this text message from General Mkhwanazi to you, it's clear that other things were discussed in this meeting. For example, the information that was provided by Mr. Matlala. And in the text he says he volunteered information about a house address in Sandton where Sabia collects money using the state vehicle, and he paid 2 million rand towards Sabia's purchase of his plot. He also told me about Sabia's townhouse. Why is it you do not mention that in your statement?
Commissioners, first thing first, Mr. Matlala requested me to accompany him to the meeting with General Mkhwanazi. And as I've indicated, you read my paragraph, I was up and down there. And I was moving up and down. I said I might have not picked up all the discussions. And further to that, I was busy as well, consuming my liquor there. Some of the things, I didn't happen to hear them.
Because you were in the kitchen?
I was moving up and down.
So can you describe this apartment? Is the kitchen a separate room? Is it a big apartment, a small apartment?
Open plan.
It's a relatively medium. When you come in, there's a TV and some couches. And then you move backwards. There is I can't remember because I didn't work, but there is something at the backwards. And then from here, if you are sitting there at row 2, row 2, and then here, you come in like this, and then is a kitchen with the kitchen units and everything. So I was moving from there, coming here, mixing whatever I was drinking, it's the whiskey, of course, and then taking my glass, going back, sitting there, consuming while they're talking. When it's done, my glass, I'll go back and fill up, because I was offered. I see here, I also omitted to say it in my statement that I was offered whiskey, but I was offered whiskey. Some of the things I won't recall. It's not that it is by intention. I'm not withholding any information for the commission. If I wanted to withhold information from the commission, even these messages you wouldn't have got. So I'm withholding nothing. I'm here to come and assist the commission to deliver its mandate.
So the kitchen, I'm just trying to understand the layout, because it sounds like an open plan layout. The kitchen isn't a separate closed room. You can see the kitchen from the living room, is that correct?
You can see it, but you can't see it when you go deeper. You won't see, but you can see there is the kitchen.
Is it open planned?
Some sort of, but not 100%. Open plan, the way I understand it, from my perspective, commissioners, is that from here where I'm sitting, let's say this space, it's your lounge, né? And then maybe 2 meters, and then just like this, then is the kitchen. That for me is an open plan. But when you're sitting here, you have to turn a little bit. Another person might call it an open plan. Another person like me, I would say it's not a fully open plan. The way we see it, the way we describe it, it will never be the same. But that's how I see it.
And do you say if you go into the kitchen, you can't hear what's happening
The TV,
in the living room?
there was a TV that was on, and they were talking. They were not shouting. What I've heard I've assisted the commission with
sure.
what I heard.
Let's-
So some of the things that I didn't hear, I'm not going to speculate, commissioners, and say, I think I heard, I think this and this and this, because the issue on this meeting, on this WhatsApp, if the recording was here, it would have also reminded me of some of the things.
So you say that you went into the kitchen. It's somewhat open, but not completely.
Correct.
To the what you call the living room. And what were you going to the kitchen to do? You say to pour yourself a whiskey.
Correct, Commissioner.
And how long did it take you to pour a whiskey?
Hey, I didn't make a timing. I would stand up, go to the kitchen, open the fridge, look for ice, put the ice in the glass, take the whiskey, put it there, look for a mix, then put the mix, taste if the glass is to that level that suits me, and then I go back.
How many times did you do this?
I don't have any recollection how many times, commissioners.
So there's a conversation going on about General Sevilla that seems quite detailed here. It's about a house, there's an address in Sandton collecting money using a state vehicle, there's the 2 million rand issue, there's the townhouse issue. Throughout the entire discussion of that, you were absent. Is that what you are saying to the Commission?
I don't have a recollection. I'm not saying I was absent. I was in that house, but I don't have recollection of them, Commissioner.
I have a view that I'd like you to comment on, and that is that you deliberately withheld this information about Sevilla, and that's partly backed up for me by your reluctance today to mention General Sevilla's name in relation to this text message that General Mpunazi sent you. You did not want to mention this part of the text that mentions General Sevilla. What's your response to that?
What is the actual question? I missed it because it's too long. You're saying?
That you withheld the information, that you were aware that this was mentioned, all these things about General Sevilla, that you wanted to withhold it from the Commission, and that's also why you didn't want to mention General Sevilla's name today in the Commission.
Commissioners, you shall have recorded or observed when I was talking about the Potchefstroom theft of the cocaine from Potchefstroom. It was very thorough. The reason is that when I visited the crime scene, I made notes, I compiled information notes to head office, and there were statements and everything there. Here, that didn't happen in this meeting. So I think it is a common cause that as a human being, there are things that you will forget, there are things that you won't hear, but on a serious note, I am not withholding any information. And the issue of General Sevilla, my legal team was talking to the Commission in relation to the issue of security. But now I was advised I must do it. I did it at the advice because I was advised to say that. Now, these messages were sent to me, and I sent them to my attorneys, who requested the recordings from the General, and the General didn't provide us with the recordings. I will never withhold information. If I recalled, I would have deposited it here or talked about it in this Commission.
Okay, your short answer is you didn't remember. That's why you didn't. That's your response.
Correct.
And the other thing that General Mpunazi mentions in this text is a conversation regarding one Mr. Nangi, but you don't include that in your paragraph 64 either. Why is that?
I have already responded when the Commissioner was asking me that question.
I don't believe that question was asked, why you didn't refer to Nangi in your statement when it was mentioned here by General Mpunazi.
Commissioner said this message, you never disputed, you're disputing them, but you never you never said it in your affidavit. You were here, you never said it. That is one of the first questions that the Commissioner asked me, and I responded.
What was your response? Because I think we are at cross purposes on this.
The issue of discussion between Mr. Matlala and myself regarding Nangi. This is the message that the Commissioner was telling me about. Then I said no.
I'm asking you why you didn't mention the discussion of Nangi that took place at the meeting of 15 April.
My answer...
Let me just say, because the text says you told me about your discussion between you and Matlala. I'm not asking you about that. I'm asking you about a discussion about Mr. Nangi at the meeting of 15 April. Because he's talking about this in the context of the meeting of 15 April. He mentions Nangi. You don't mention that as a topic that was discussed. Why?
I think I've already indicated some of these things I forgot, I didn't hear them, and then I believe that if I can't recollect any of some of the facts, I can't be pushed to say, now I remember.
Okay. So you don't remember that either? You might have been
in
again
that
in the
meeting,
kitchen.
yes, correct.
Okay, and you do, but so you don't deny that that conversation took place, because you don't remember?
What are you saying, Advocate?
You can't deny that there was a conversation about Mr. Nangi in this meeting on 15 April, right?
I can't, but apparently, as I'm saying, I was moving up and down. They must have discussed it, not me.
Okay.
The general and Mr. Matlala might have discussed it, but when they talk about it, I didn't hear it. But I don't deny that it must have been a discussion there between the two. Because when you read also, okay, let me leave that.
Okay. So you have explained the kitchen and all of that. Now, why is it that Mr. Matlala wanted you to accompany him in this meeting?
He has already indicated in one of the things you gave us here, the transcript, that he wanted me to accompany him because he believed that when he met with the general, he wanted to have that comfort of talking whatever he wanted to talk there.
Yes, so I'm not asking you what Mr. Matlala said to the ad hoc committee. I'm asking what was your conversation with Mr. Matlala? What did he say to you?
It is what he said in the ad hoc, and you gave us the transcripts. They are there.
Yes, I understand that. General, please answer the question that I'm asking you, which is not about the ad hoc committee. I'm asking about your interaction with Mr. Matlala. He asked you to come to a meeting, to accompany him to a meeting on 15 April.
Yes.
And you say, what? What did he do? When did he call you? What did he say? That's what I'm asking you.
I think we were talking on the 14th, and then he said, I want you to accompany me to a meeting that was arranged by General Tele, between me and General Kwanazi. And then he indicated he doesn't know General Kwanazi, but he will feel comfortable for me to come there. And again, the general also, because I'm working with him, maybe he might also feel comfortable for me if I'm there, and then they can have discussions. I didn't refuse because I didn't see any wrong thing about that.
You knew that this meeting was to facilitate assistance for Mr. Matlala with his contractual problems with the SAPS, isn't that so?
I knew that it was regarding the purchase orders.
Right.
Because I asked, what is the meeting all about? It was regarding the purchase orders.
And you didn't see any problem with that?
Correct.
You didn't see any problem with assisting a service provider to the SAPS who's having difficulties with their contract to facilitate or smooth the way? You had no problem with that as a very senior law enforcement officer responsible for organized crime, including, as you told us, one of the national priority crimes is government fraud.
I didn't see it as a problem accompanying a younger brother to a meeting that I was not a full participant there. I was not, they were talking. The first time we were talking general things, and then from there they started to interacting their things, greeting each other, how are you, where are you from, those general things, and then from there they came to discuss these things. I happened to hear what I've listed here. The ones that I've not listed, I've not heard about the discussions, because I don't see any problem in me taking him there. Because also, I was not privy to any information in that Mr. Matlala is the subject of investigation of whatever cases he has been arrested and charged for.
Well, we'll come back to that because you did know by then. Because as you told the Commission earlier, at the very least on the 5th of March, you had major concerns, such serious concerns that you began to exercise caution, you said, in respect of Mr. Matlala. Yet you accompany him to this meeting to help smooth the way with his contractual problems in the SAPS.
The concerns was regarding the exchange of the directorship of the company. Yeah, not that there is an investigation. It is an article that was in the newspaper, and then over and above that, yes, I agree, I testified. I had that concerns that culminated in me trying to start to reverse from our relationship. And further to that, I also heard in that meeting that there was this case, attempted murder case that is being investigated against him while the general was telling him. That is, those are the ones that, this is the investigation I heard about, but the one for changing the directorship, I don't know whether there was an investigation or what. It concerned me.
Well, I think it would probably help to go to that article, because there was a lot in that article and it was beyond even these contractual issues. But let me finish this and we'll come back to that. You knew, you still had concerns, we know that you had concerns, you said you were exercising caution. You go to a meeting, you know that this is a discussion, a plan, this is what the meeting is for. And then you say that the meeting, what took place in the meeting, was an exchange between General Mpunazi and a service provider on how to fix the problem. You give me this and I will get you some more purchase orders. That's what you say in your statement,
well,
right?
Can I be assisted? That you give me this, I'll give you purchase orders. Can I be assisted with paragraph
Yes.
instead, commissioners?
You say that Mpunazi agreed to assist Mr. Matlala, right, to get the purchase orders. You say that he spoke about General Nkua's alleged corruption, so that he's sharing information now about, as you call it, the end user, right? And then you say that he offered to put on hold investigations that were currently underway against Mr. Matlala, right? You are sitting in this meeting, at least for the part of it that you are sober and not in the kitchen. You know that this is the discussion that's happening. Did it not strike you as something that is of serious concern and should not be taking place?
You know, Commissioners, the first question that you indicated that help me about this and this and this, I'll ensure you get orders. I've never talked about that. I must indicate I didn't talk about that here, even in my statement. But these others, yes, I did highlight them in my statement. Your question is the issue of concerns. I've never had any concerns upon these discussions. You know, when the general was talking to him, my understanding or my take on that time was that the general was talking maybe under general, and then the actual actions that he was supposed to take, I don't know. But for me, it didn't matter.
So, General, when, and this is in your statement, when General Mkhwanazi says, according to you, when he offers to pause investigations against Ms. Matlala for the alleged attempted murder of Debo Hotobejani in exchange for information on Lieutenant General Sibia, you say that doesn't concern you. This part we know you had, that's why it's in your
Yes,
statement.
so-
And you say, as head of DPCI, KZN, that's not anything that concerns you.
Commissioners, at some stages when we deal with this type of issues, I believe later that General Mkhwanazi might have information that he knows, and then he wanted further information. I believe he might have come there to do certain interrogation and talk certain things, because I was not aware about this case. So when you do the interview or interrogation, you need information. You say other things that might not necessarily mean in order for you to extract information. I believed that because as an investigator, we do have other tactics that we utilize to extract information from people.
No, General. This is not an interrogation. You are there to assist Mr. Matlala to get his contract honored by SAPS. That's why you are there. You go there. You know why he's going there. It's to get assistance, to get his purchase orders put through so he can make money. You know that. So you go there. It's not an official meeting. You're not there in an official capacity, because if you are, then there's a further serious problem about that meeting. You are not there in your official capacity. You are there as Mr. Matlala's friend/brother. That's why you're there. You listen in an informal discussion to a commissioner who says, I will use my influence to pause investigation on a serious matter of an alleged murder, attempted murder, if you give me information about General Sibia, and you say that is not a matter that causes you concern in that meeting, in that informal meeting which is about the contract.
My presence there was to accompany Mr. Matlala. That is correct, but not to facilitate him to receive the purchase orders. The meeting was facilitated by General Tele. So eventually, this was discussed. As I'm saying, sometimes this is what people can tell you, that this is what will happen, whereas they don't mean it.
So you thought General Mkhwanazi doesn't mean it? Is that what you thought there and then?
Because he wanted information about.
So you thought General Mkhwanazi doesn't mean it with this
I thought
offer?
so,
Is my question.
Yes.
Then why do you mention it in the statement? If you thought he just said it
That is
without meaning it.
This is what was this. I'm telling the commissioners what happened in that meeting. It's not that I'm saying it even if I thought he never meant it, but this is what happened there,
Okay.
commissioners. So I wouldn't want to say, even if I have a negative thought of something, then I decide to leave it. I don't know which information, commissioners, is going to assist this commission, but I gave everything that I know and that I can really recollect to assist the commission.
Okay, so just so that I'm clear about your answer, you're saying to us now that as you sat in that apartment and General Mkhwanazi said to Mr. Matlala, I will hold the investigation if you give me information. As you sat in that apartment, you did not think that General Mkhwanazi meant it. Is that what you're saying to us?
Correct, commissioners, because eventually on the day when he was arrested, he was charged for the very same case, and then he was processed for the very same case. This is the case where he was arrested.
Okay, so the part that's missing in your statement on this paragraph 64.3, the unwritten part or the missing part is, I did not believe that General Mkhwanazi meant it. Is that, if I edit that would be a complete, in the light of what you're saying?
Correct, commissioner.
All right, thank you. And by the way, this meeting, how long was it?
I think almost an hour or so.
Sorry, did you say about an hour?
An hour or so.
And you say that General Mkhwanazi agreed to assist Mr. Matlala to get purchase orders from General Nkua. That didn't trouble you too much?
No, if the purchase orders are not coming, if somebody says, I will assist, the assistance is from where I'm sitting. It can be, there is this contract, there's no purchase orders, is there a problem or whatever. Not necessarily to give somebody an instruction, but that, hey, go there to give this person this. Because in this meeting, there was no even promises of, if you do this, I will pay you or I will give this. There was nothing of that nature. But on this one, I didn't have a problem.
You didn't have a problem with
Yes.
assistance to the service provider, your friend, to getting purchase orders from General Nkua. Do you know General Nkua?
I know she's now the acting Deputy National Commissioner, Support Services.
But you didn't know at the time who she was?
Yes, I knew at the
You
time.
knew?
Yes, correct.
And did you have any reason to think that maybe she had a concern that was a legitimate concern
Any
regarding
reason?
the contract? Did you have any reason to think that she had a legitimate concern with the
I-
contract, and that's why she wasn't placing more purchase orders?
I won't know. I don't know.
You had never heard of her and the contract?
This
Any-
thing of, I don't know, Commissioners.
This is in April 2025. You had not heard of any concern raised by General Nkua about the contract and the issue of purchase orders?
I will have to check on these messages if there was something like that. But I know there was a message, a screenshot of some sort that Mr. Matlala sent to me regarding payments. I
Okay, so
remember that one.
Right.
Because the WhatsApp messages assisted me to recall, and I was reading through that. And then that thing, I know that again, he had a problem with the payments as well as the orders. That is what he told me, Mr. Matlala. I was aware of that. But the issue of the problem with the actual contract, that one, I only saw when I see that media clip that raised concern on me regarding him when he changed the directorship.
That's the only time you became aware
As
of
far
any
as I can-
concern. So, okay, so you're saying, yes?
As far as I can recollect, but I will have to check the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's quite important. I also want to know, why do you think, in your position as the provincial head of the Hawks, responsible for preventing and combating priority crimes, you didn't advise Mr. Matlala differently to say, if you have a problem, go through proper channels?
Look, the meeting was never arranged by me. It was arranged by General Tele. And then I believe if you expected of me to tell him to say go through proper channels, even the general who was there as the senior to me would have done that, but he didn't do that. So that is why I didn't see a problem in that. Maybe he was going to come up with that or not, I don't know, and I don't know.
So because your colleague, provincial commissioner, didn't say anything, you thought, therefore, you don't need to either. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, remember the assistance was directed to General Mkhwanazi, and then he must not be exonerated that he didn't do this. If he deemed it fit, he should have said, these are the procedures, follow them.
General Mkhwanazi will have to give an explanation for this. I'm asking you because this was your meeting that you were present at. You participated. Before you went into this meeting, you've said to us, before you went into the meeting, you knew what it was about.
Let me correct you. It's not my meeting. I was invited. So what I'm telling you the truth, and I'm telling you what was in my mind by then, and I don't want to come here and change it. I can't keep and change things as they are happening, Commissioner.
You accepted the invitation knowing what the purpose of the meeting is.
Correct, Commissioner, but it was not my meeting.
No, I understand that. You were invited. You did not organize the meeting. But in accepting the invitation, you knew what the purpose of the meeting was. You knew where you were going and for what purpose you were going there.
I knew it was regarding the purchase orders. Yes.
So you knew that your friend, who's a business person doing business with SAPS, wanted to go see a SAPS commissioner to ask for favors relating to the same contract.
I hear what you are saying, Commissioner.
No, it's a yes or no. You knew or you did not know.
I knew that they were going to talk about the orders. Yes.
Going to ask for favors relating to the same contract.
He was going to ask for the issuing of the purchase orders.
But General Mkhwanazi cannot issue purchase orders. They are issued in Pretoria.
I agree with you, but why did they refer Mr. Matlala to General Mkhwanazi? I don't know, Commissioner. Angas.
Advocate Helder.
Thanks. Now, I think that I would like to go to the WhatsApp messages directly and a video clip.
So the same WhatsApp.
On the same, it's the WhatsApp messages between General Senona and Matlala on this issue.
Okay.
I wanted to, Chair, may I be given a short and I know that we're running close to time, but I'd like to at least close off on this before we break.
All right, Ms. Hassan, yes.
Thank you kindly. If I could please ask that we go to 6 February, and that would be file 1 of 3 of the exhibit bundle.
And that's marked what, Ms. Hassan?
It's marked file 1 of 3.
No, I have the file.
The page 15.
50. 15?
15.
15. Here.
15. And you'll see, General, if you look down on that page, towards the bottom, on 6 February, Mr. Matlala sends you a video attachment.
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay, so if we could just play that video attachment, please. There should be a link. How long will it take? Chair, I wonder if we can't adjourn for a few minutes.
How long is the clip, and how long are you going to be
The clip is
engaging with it?
The clip is about, it'll probably be about 15 seconds or so, the clip itself, or 30 seconds at
And
most.
your engagement?
5 minutes.
Will adjourn.
Thank you, Chair.
This morning, and you were even quoting a section from the Constitution in terms of what substance obligations are in terms of that section. Did you not have that obligation?
At that moment, Commissioner, I know it is an obligation on me. At that moment, it never crossed my mind to deal with it in that fashion. And I accept the mistake I did because it never crossed my mind.
Did you not at the very least consider this to be a serious matter? Let's leave aside that it did not occur to you to report or approach anybody. This is about taking action with regard to the question of non-performance in respect of a contract. And that's something which concerned internal SAPS discussions.
As I'm indicating, Commissioner, it never crossed my mind at that stage. I know I'm obligated, but it never. And I didn't do it, Commissioner.
All right, now in retrospect, do you think that it was a serious matter?
Now,
Yes?
now that I'm informed by the Commission,
No, leave aside what you are being informed. Do you not think that this is a serious matter as you sit there now? And let me again take you back to what both Commissioner Baloyi and Advocate Hasim took you through. This is internal information about discussions within SAPS. There's even a SAPS logo. And it's about action that should be taken in respect of non-performance of a contract. As you sit there, my question is, do you not consider that this video clip concerned a serious issue as you sit there now?
as I sit now, I do consider, Commissioner.
And you only realize that now?
Yes, Commissioner.
And if I suggest to you that that cannot be, what do you say?
It is now, Commissioner.
Yes, Ms. Hassan?
Chair,
Yes. Yes, Ms. Mafisa?
Thank you, Chairperson. I just didn't want to interrupt the leading of evidence or your questioning, Chairperson. However, I would like to state that this particular video has not been given to the legal team, and it also has not been given to Major General Senona. So the line of questioning, I do think it's rather unfair to Major General Senona. We are unsure whether there was indeed an SAPS branding on the video. We're not quite sure who the speaker is in the video either. And I do think that Major General Senona should have been given an opportunity to consult with his legal team regarding this video. As we have done and as has been provided to us, the annexures SEN1 to SEN7. So I do think that this video should have been provided to us. And if there's other video clips that will be used tomorrow, I simply request that we receive these video clips so that we can consult with the Major General.
As
Chair, sorry, but that's an untenable submission.
Ms. Officer, just to clarify, we as commissioners are not aware of what was shared or what was not shared. And with regard to the branding, I relied purely on what was said as part of the questioning. And I do not, and in fact, I think I did actually preface one of my questions on what was put to General Senona by Ms. Hassim. And I just whispered now to my colleague whether she too referred to that, and she said she did. But maybe, I do not know, she too relied on what Advocate Hassim had said. But I'll invite her, Advocate Hassim, to respond.
Chair, this video is part of the exchange between General Senona and Matlala. It's his own information. It's his own phone. It's his own WhatsApp chats. He says he's seen it. He's already given evidence about that video attachment. And so there was there are a number of attachments here. You just need to click on it to play it. And if the team or the general didn't remind himself of what's the contents of these WhatsApp chats, that's for them to take responsibility for, and not to suggest that there was some unfairness on behalf of, on the side of the Commission and the provision of the evidence.
Did I hear you to say that, what exactly do you say the General referred to in his evidence, in the context of the video clip?
You mean in earlier evidence?
Just now you referred to the General's evidence.
Now in the context of the question.
Yes. That's exactly what I want to understand. What exactly are you saying the General touched on in his evidence? Are you saying he touched on something that referred to the clip, or what exactly are you saying in that regard?
Yeah, well, he acknowledged the clip. He acknowledged receiving it, seeing it, dismissing it. And that questioning then proceeded from there. So this is not new to the witness. This is a clip that was shared with the witness by Mr. Matlala. I'll also say that at the end of last year, when there were discussions between the evidence leaders and the witness's legal team, they assured the Commission that they had everything that they needed in their possession. So if for some reason there were some attachments or information that they didn't have access to, they could have alerted us to that.
When was this, for example, let me just refer to this, the file 1 of the exhibits file, when was that shared?
File 1 of the exhibits was shared this week, but this particular exhibit, these chats, were shared with the witness last year. This very same page 15 was shared with the witness and his legal team last year. We just compiled it differently in this exhibit bundle for the purposes of today's questioning.
Ms. Mafisa, we just want to get a full idea of the inner and outer contours of what you would like to see. And maybe after that we will adjourn and possibly come back and make a ruling.
Thank you, Chairperson. I would just like to touch on, perhaps maybe I'd just like to move backward prior to answering the Chairperson's question. So on
and maybe when we are dealing with that, also touch on the point that Ms. Hassim made, which is that these exhibits were actually shared, and that the only, I don't even want to say issue, but the only matter perhaps is how they have now been packaged, but that they were shared last year already. So when you tell us the inner and outer contours of what you want to see, please touch on that as well.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Commissioners. On the 26th of November, we did come to an agreement that we are satisfied with everything, all the evidence that the Commission has given to us. However, I would like to make it quite clear that if you have a look at the chats, this particular video is not included as an annexure. So, sorry, Chairperson, let me just move the mic over closer. But this particular video is not included as an annexure. So when we came to that agreement that we are satisfied and we are happy with all the information that has been provided to us, we simply looked at the witness statements and the annexures to the WhatsApp chats, which is SCN1 to SCN7. We can confirm that we did receive SCN1 to SCN7. However, I do think, and I hate to use the same words over and over, but I do think it's quite unfair to pose a question to the legal team to say that the link was provided to us, or rather it was packaged in another way because the link was not provided to us. Even if we look at the exhibit bundle that we have today before us, this particular video is not within the exhibit bundle. So that agreement, I should make it very clear that we came to that agreement thinking that the only annexures that exist within this WhatsApp chat is SCN1 to SCN7. This is not one of those annexures. If we knew that this particular video would perhaps maybe then have been used in Major General Senona's testimony, then we would have 100% then raised an issue and said that this particular video has not been included. Even now with Major General Senona's testimony, witness sees evidence has not been included in his testimony. So there's various things that we are, as a legal team, we are unsure whether they're going to be used, whether they're not going to be used. So in good faith, we agreed that we have received every single thing that will be used for Major General Senona's testimony.
We are here now. What would you like to see, Ms. Mafisa?
Chairperson, I think it's still a little bit difficult.
Bearing in mind that the substance of your point is about fairness and unfairness. So
Correct.
what would you like to see?
Chairperson, perhaps maybe I should just put it within the hands of the evidence leader. If there are videos that have not been flagged as an annexure, such as SCN1 to SCN7, then and the evidence leader intends to use it within the testimony, then can we please receive it? All we want to do is to look at the evidence that will be presented from the Commission's side and have an opportunity to consult with Major General Senona based upon that.
As I said, do you wish to respond? As I said at the beginning, we would adjourn, consider the matter and come back because we don't want to make a ruling only tomorrow morning because that might delay us if in the end we say that the video, all videos must be shared because then the legal representatives and the general may need time to consider those which may delay us. So I think it's best, whichever way we go in the end, I think it's best for us to adjourn as I indicated we might have to. Do you wish to respond to Ms. Mafisa?
Yeah, I mean, again, Chair, this is the General's own WhatsApp exchanges. This isn't something, and it wasn't an annexure, it was embedded in his WhatsApp exchanges. If there's information that the legal team feels they didn't have, that they don't have access to, they can't read properly, they can't hear properly, they should have told us that. They never alerted us to anything. They never said, look, there's a video attachment, there's a video clip that you've included in your information to us, but we can't play it. They've never said that. So, I think it's a very belated objection. The question is, as you say, Chair, what do they want going forward? And I suppose the question is, am I going to rely on any other video clips that are part of the WhatsApp annexures and to provide that to the legal team? But I'd have to just check again my notes to see. I don't think they are.
May I just find this out? If, for example, I were to send this document as is, but I send it electronically, no amount of clicking on there would make anything open. So in what format was this sent to the other side? Was it sent in a format that ordinarily, when you click on it, the video clip would open?
So, Chair, I can't answer that because there's a format that I have where you click on it and it opens. Okay. And there might have been a format where you click on it and it doesn't open. Yeah. But we were never told that it's not openable from
That's just a matter of
side.
detail. I just wanted to be clear of the facts. Maybe we've reached that point where we should adjourn, but I'll just listen to my colleague. We have decided not to adjourn. And Ms. Hassim, please provide Ms. Mafisa with a video clip. And I ask the two sides to engage in discussions, and if there are other materials which may also need to be shared, I request that between the two of you, you have those discussions and see what needs to be shared, and it should then be shared overnight, so that tomorrow we are not delayed by something similar.
Thank you, Chair. Thank
you. Your 5 minutes is long up. You said you would engage for only 5 minutes on the video.
Thank you for indulging me, Chair.
No problem at all. But I do not think, of course, this means the end on the debate around the video clip. We'll adjourn until 9:30 tomorrow.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.